Sometimes I think the word game is stuck on almost everything that isn't serious. If you play music, if you draw pictures with a computer, that's not a game. You don't get a score, but we call it games, and there's sometimes this down thing. Don't play games, don't play around on the computer. And yet there's a lot of good can come from gameplay.
What's up, everybody? I was just plugging away at some firmware, and I know you guys haven't seen me at all this week. I apologize for that. So just kind of give you a quick update on what's been going on here. So Samantha and I, out of precaution per the CDC recommendation, because she was in contact with one of her friends that had COVID, her and I have been stuck in the house for the last 2 weeks, and that'll be up on Monday. So we're both doing fine. She had some just mild symptoms for, I don't know if it was actually COVID because her tests were negative. What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Or if it's just allergies. So I haven't had any issues aside from just me existing, you know. But just trying to be cautious here. So, and then we also have a couple other people out that said they had COVID exposure too. So we're just trying to play it safe so this whole company doesn't get shut down. That'd be bad. So, but what that meant is that I was basically having to manage other stuff on the back end here and wasn't able to do the Ask Tim stream. So If anybody does want to get in on here, I am in the what's it called? I'm in our Discord, and we do have the live streams. What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I need to get some caffeine or something. But we have the live stream channel on our Discord server, and I posted the StreamYard link here. And if you do not have video, I'm not going to let you in, meaning you're not getting in, because we had some people trolling. If you don't have an actual camera up, you're not getting in. But speaking of people joining us, we have Tyler here. What's up, bud?
Hello.
How's it going there in the frigid north?
Oh, it's going to be like -20 tomorrow, but we're good.
You got a nicer setup though in the new place.
Yeah, it's a mess right now. I just installed Wi-Fi lights too, so I'm kind of messing with those, like turning different colors and stuff.
Yeah,
you can kind of see in the background. Hold on.
I see a little bit. I see something.
Yeah, hold on.
I also see your fancy Amazon box printer stands there.
Yeah, everything's just doing its own thing right now.
Yeah. Now, I was like, I gotta get some actual stuff done because this week's been just kind of derailed. But yeah, so I'm about to light this baby up while I'm working on some code here. So luckily my office is in the garage, so I don't stink up the house. And it's probably not as cold as you are there, but what is it, like 37 here? It's cold. So cold enough for me to not enjoy this outside, but I've got ozone filters in here and HEPA filters, so after about like 12 hours you can't even tell that I had a cigar in my office. It's kind of nice.
It's currently 9 degrees here.
9?
9.
Man, I think it's like the one place that's part of the U.S. that's colder than Wisconsin. Like, let's see. I get that. Oh, I get that V cut. Everybody likes that V cut.
Actually, I take that back. It was supposed to be -20 tomorrow, but it doesn't look like that anymore. It's only going to be -10.
Ooh. I bought this on a whim at the cigar shop, and I feel like I'm going to enjoy this. So, but yeah. So, oh no, the wrapper, they have this like fucking crap on the, there's like this like cloth band and it tore part of it. Whatever, we'll make it work. So, my quad thing is like going crazy here. It's all good. We're just going to go for it. It'll even itself out.
Little buff. Yeah, it's also only like 6:30 here, so still early.
And I got to reprint this because I was doing good on not burning this, but Aaron used this one time and melted it. Like it's been great. I did it in PLA.
Was that the one you did with the TS3D Maker coin in the center of it?
Mm-hmm. So, that's really good. It's really sweet. I like the sweeter cigars. So, or as my buddy calls them, the woman's cigars. I was like, I'm just gonna smoke what I like. Leave me alone. So, but I was playing with the new. There's a Z offset wizard in Marlin. I gotta update the firmware on here before I actually like run it because it's in a non-functional state at the moment. So. Let's see if this camera's going to come up. We got to come up. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Connected in 4K. Okay, let's see. Arm 1. Hey, look at that. Boom. I should make it. There we go. Yeah, so I got the CR10V2. I don't have this properly mounted, so don't do this. I'm testing things on here. So, but
just with the bread tie up at the top, it'll buff.
Yeah, no, I'm going to properly mount it, but this is just all testing. So this is the CR10 V2. So did it auto home? I think it did. It looks like it did. Let's say home Z. It went so quick I didn't notice.
So Dan Adams says it's 47 Romulus, Michigan right now.
Yeah, my temperature sensor outside, so Google says it's like 47, but my outside actual sensor says it's 37. So one of them is wrong. I'm going to believe my actual sensor that's outside over Google.
I might honestly set up like a Raspberry Pi thing, like right outside the window right here. Yeah, right there. I was trying to figure out it backwards. So set it up like right there where you can like actually see, what it's doing outside, like see the temperature, because it does get down to like -50 here.
Yeah, fucking Alaska's wild, man. Like, that's wild. So I've got firmware here. So my goal is to try to get all the 8-bit machines over to Unified 2. So last week we dropped the Sidewinder X1 in addition to the actual official ABL support, and then the CR10 V2. But if you notice here, I pulled, since these are all CR10 Creality machines that use the same like board configuration as the CR10 V2, I figured I'm going to start working on those and getting those ported over. So we'll see how that goes. I'm a little I hate when cigar makers do that, like cosmetic stuff. I don't know, like, like they put this like cloth band on it to make it look fancy, but it sticks sometimes to the actual wrapper and it tears it.
You go to puff on it, you're like,
no, it screws with the flavor. It'll even out. It's already starting to even out, but like it can screw with the flavor, because if the wrapper is not burning evenly, then things are not fun. So it doesn't work very well. But so I'm gonna see. I can't remember where I left this off. So I've got also.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the stream so we can actually get chat out.
Chat, you can see on the right side of StreamYard.
I want to put this
comments
at full screen so I can actually see what you're doing as far as the code goes. Because like right now you're like this big.
Hang on, let me see if I can do this. Does that work? That works better. Then everybody can see.
It's still potato.
Oh, butt ram's here.
Oh, butt ram.
Oh no. Let's see. Dan's asking. I have an Ender5 Pro board that I replaced with the EasyBoard. Like, can I put that board in a Solval? I don't. The Solval has a 2560. So if your 5 Pro has a 2560, you could and then update the firmware. I mean, you can technically put any board in any printer. It's just, do you have the skill set to actually get the firmware running? So, and none of our firmware supports those Melzi boards in the Solval. Because it didn't come with one. It came with a 2560. So, but what I have here is I isolated. So this is like from my 119 build. I isolated, and you can see there's just only a few things left in each printer section. That's because as I moved over all of the back end settings, so if we go to the Creality setting here, so I got to update this. I'm just going to put this Creality 2560 printer settings. So instead of having like a separate config section for each printer, I just account for each one that uses this same board definition, which is right here. So the board ramps Creality variant. So you can see I've got like here. So if like the Ender5 Plus, that comes with a BL Touch. So this has code in here that assumes that they're going to use the BL Touch. But if you go up to the top here, there's other settings here, like if you're using it with easy ABL or no ABL, and then depending on what you enable. What I like with VS Code is it actually shows you in real time what's getting enabled and disabled. So if I go down here, back to the CR10 setting, you'll see this section's lit up now because the Ender5 Plus is uncommented. And it also sets, because the Ender5 Plus uses the 800 steps per millimeter, sets the Z steps. This is the kind of stuff I need to verify that is set correctly. And you can see here, like the CR10S Pro is different E steps, so it gets its own define here if it's enabled. If not, everything else uses the 8080 and then either the 400 and 800, which is determined by this right here, and then 95. So, but there's also different things in here that we account for. Like obviously you don't want to run as high a jerk on S4 and S5. So we set those to a lower value, and then all the different bed sizes. You can see based on like size, I have the Pro on common, or the Ender 5 Plus on common right now. This should actually grade out. So I need to see why this is. Did I uncomment the Ender 5? Hang on. Sometimes VS Code doesn't properly do stuff. Let's see. Did it? Do I have the Ender 5 Plus in here? Yes, I do. So this lit that up. Why is, you know what, maybe I didn't uncomment, or maybe I didn't comment out one of the configs. Oh yeah, that's why. So now if I go back down, we should see the, we should see that not lit up. Okay, now nothing's lit up here. Is it because I didn't put Ender 5 Plus in here? So I have to have it trigger this block of code if it's in here, which it's not. So what I have to do is do enabled Ender 5 Plus, and now this block of code should light back up. Yep, there we go. So just qualifying and testing all this stuff. There's a lot of different variables to like account for when you're doing this, because you could easily break stuff. So that's good. I will have to pick up more of these cigars because that's really tasty. The wife is not a big fan of the cigars, though. In terms of the smell, she's always like, "You smell like a cigar."
Cigar smell actually really good.
I like how cigars smell, but out of respect, I'll usually I'll take a shower before I go to bed. So, but this is my cigar hoodie, so I put this on when I'm, when it's colder. It's like 66 in my office right now, so I try not to run the heat too high. But yeah, so what I need to do now is, since I merged all this damn code in, I got to make sure this all compiles for each one, and then if it doesn't, debug that. But I am pretty close to having these machines in here supported in the new firmware. The CRX, CR20, the CRX, I have to add additional coding because that's a 2-into-1 setup for the hot end. There's 2 extruders, 1 nozzle, but all these other ones should be pretty straightforward. So we'll see. But if anybody follows the GitHub, you'll see I've been making a lot of pushes. Okay, so the Ender 5 Plus passed. Let's just go down the line. So and see what is lighting up here. So I uncommented that. Why are we not lighting this up? It's right here. Let me try it again. Sometimes
so you have in
this is what I have. Yeah, this was the one. So I made copies of these on my desktop because I'm modifying them. But what I have here, so here's all like the code. This is all the code I had for like the dual extrusion for like our dual extrusion board and the CRX. So I just have this here for reference. So I'm not reinventing the entire wheel. But it's weird that I noticed VS Code does this. So like it's supposed to light up the blocks of code so you know which ones are actually, like it evaluates all the if statements. But you see here for the CR10S, it actually didn't do it, but it did pass compilations. So why it's not doing that is beyond me. Let me see. Maybe if I shuffle around the order here, will that cause it to reevaluate its life? Yes, it does. So you can see here how it lit up. So we got the LCD that gets defined, all the steps, and we should see, yep, this lit up here, the 300 by 340. You see all these are grayed out. So basically all this code, even though it's in here, it doesn't do anything and doesn't affect the actual like end result of the firmware because it doesn't actually make it into the compiled binary. So you can have as much stuff in here as you want. Only what actually gets used makes it into the compiled file. If you notice here, I also have evaluations here. So if someone has a silent board, this is an option up top there. Or if you have CR10v2, which comes with the 2208s in standalone mode, and the CR10 Pro, which also comes with the 2208s in standalone mode, it'll set the driver type. Now, the reality is the 2208s in standalone mode will work fine with the 4988 option, but just for consistency and following standards sake, we have that evaluation in there. So that's good. So let's go ahead and check the mini and make sure that all checks out. So I'm going to save that, let it compile. Like, this is what I go through. That's why people are like, oh man, why isn't new firmware out? Oh, because it's a lot of work, and this was already, I spent probably just like 6 hours getting everything ported over. And I also had to port over all the nozzle probe offsets from the old firmware, and it's a different format, so I couldn't just copy and paste it. But those are all in here. So like, you'll see stuff for printers that aren't even actually supported by this firmware yet, like the Wanhao i3 and the D6, but I'm just preparing to get everything off of that old version. And so we have the mini, and the mini should have, does mini have a bed size? It should have one in here. Yes, it is. So it's lit up. Okay. So that's working. And we just go down the line. So not only do I make sure it compiles, but I want to make sure that it's at like all the if else statements are actually doing their thing correctly, which this one is for the S4. The other thing, I have some work to do with the filament sensors, whether they're using the stock one or where they have something from ours. Mickey Pierce is saying, why not Artillery Genius software does not differ much from X1? I haven't messed with that printer. Let's go ahead and Google that.
Are you outputting 1080p?
I am outputting 1080p.
For some reason, I put it on my end on.
You have to set it in your settings, but I do have a paid StreamYard link, or not the X1 Genius.
I even put it on YouTube at 1080p. That's not like 1080p quality.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that on my preview here on the left too, because it says my camera is showing 1080p. Let me switch 720, 1080. I'm outputting with Streamlabs. Maybe, oh God. I just moved my whole thing. I meant to grab the top of the, oh my God. Grab the top of the window. There we go. So I'm using their virtual webcam, which should be outputting 1080. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it looks good on here. I'm sure it's StreamYard doing it. StreamYard is dumb in certain aspects, but it allows you to do stuff where you can have people jump in. Let's see, Artillery Genius. Oh yeah, I looked at this one. I don't have one of these, so I can't comment on like how good or bad it is or what it has, because I have no idea. I don't have one.
Looks pretty much the same, just like smaller bed size or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks exactly the same, just like some.
Yeah, it's just a smaller version of the X1.
Probably still runs the same board and everything too.
Yeah. So the thing is with this firmware, you have to be running the conversion kit for the X1. It does look, according to this picture, this does look like the MKS Gen L clone. Now, these, I do want to point out, because I noticed this when I was working on mine, Artillery is not using genuine MKS boards. They're using knockoffs that are actually pretty inferior to the actual MKS ones. So they're clones of a Chinese board. And that Chinese board is actually pretty good, especially like for the price, for the components they use. But they cut costs and they went with a knockoff. So, because mine actually has my SideRider X1 that's, I think it's on the floor behind me.
It's over there somewhere.
So I put an actual MKS Gen L in there because the stock one, the MOSFET got stuck on. So, Ken's asking here. But yeah, I mean, I'll have to check this out. So I mean, if I got one of these, I'm willing to bet our LCD conversion kit would be compatible with this. It's just a matter of getting one of these machines. So
the same base. Like I can just imagine them like, hey,
it just looks like it's even got the crappy ribbon cables. I've replaced the board on the X1, like the board right here, like I've replaced this 3 times and it started flaking out again. And I was looking at under the scope and noticed that there were like tiny cracks in the solder joints. So I just fluxed the crap out of it, put some leaded solder on there, soldered all the pins, and it's working again. So Ken was asking, is there a way to change a baby step increment smaller 0.25? It's not an option, but you can modify the code. You don't need anything smaller than 0.25, to be completely honest. That's why we have it set at 0.25. But if your heart absolutely desires that you want a smaller one, that is located in the configuration ADV file. If we search for, oh, no, I'm doing fine. If you search for 025, you can see here baby step Z multiplicator, or baby step multiplicator Z right here. This is in millimeters. So you can put whatever you want, but honestly, you don't need, like, this is super fine already. And some drivers, like some of the Creality boards, don't like if you set this too low because the drivers just freak out, especially if you turn the knob really fast. So this is a very good functional level and also a, practical level, but you can change it. My answer when everybody asks me something, is, can you change this? Yes, you can. The source code's available. You just have to know how to do it. So if there's something that falls outside of what our recommendations are, then, you can go ahead and modify it. But if you break something, then you'll be on your own. So, because like I'm doing here right now, literally test compiling and making sure everything works correctly. So let's keep moving down the line here and just make sure this is hitting all the things it is. And I know like the motor directions, all that stuff is set correctly because I've already got the baseline. So like it's not like true and falses are inverted. The only thing with Marlin 2 is for like the filament sensors, that instead of using true or false, they're using. Oh, what happened? If you guys can still hear me, my video, all my screens just shut off.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
I can still hear you, Tyler.
I can see like a snapshot of what you just did, so that's about it.
What the hell is happening right now?
Your computer's like,
Hang on.
Shit,
you came back. Hang on. Did I think Streamlabs OBS crashed. Hang on. Let me fire that back up. It wouldn't be a live stream without something going haywire. Let's see. Let me try stop cam, start cam. No. Camera. Let's see.
I can still see myself on the live stream.
Okay. Now it's gray. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Somehow recovered that. That's amazing. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Tyler?
Can you hear me?
Can you still hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, wait. Hang on. I see what happened. Hang on. Go ahead and talk.
Talk.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it switched to my monitor output. I was like, why can't I hear Tyler?
Was that a llama as your thing?
It might be. Yes, it is.
It like blipped real quick.
Yeah.
On the live stream, I'm like, llama.
So, all right. Well, let's keep moving down the thing because like this kind of stuff I usually do just offline. But I figured whatever. My plan was to work on some code and have a cigar. So I figured might as well stream and people who also have no life on a Saturday night can tune in. Yeah. Okay, so that set this correctly, so that's good. Why is my build like being weird here? It says it's building, but I wonder if I have to restart VS Code from the. I think my display driver crashes. I think what happened.
It could be.
All this other stuff looks correct, though. Yep. So that's all evaluating correctly. So is that. Okay. So I'm just going to reload VS Code and see if that works. And then I need to make sure, okay, I already have my COM ports selected because I'm going to flash my CR10 V2. But what I want to make sure, what I'm doing right now is making sure the changes I made, one, are being evaluated correctly for all these different printer types, and two, didn't break other stuff. So after I'm done just making sure that these pass compile, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my build folder here. I'm going to go ahead and upload it to my printer, make sure it actually works.
Do you still have all the printers you have in 119?
Not all of them, but once the configs are done and I have that as a reference point, it's literally just porting them over. The main thing is making sure that I'm not running over on space, that kind of stuff. You have like an RGB spotlight on your flags in the corner there. Is that what you have going on?
So, I don't know if you can see it. It's literally just like a red
a can light.
recessed light, yeah. I tried to make it, like I'm literally adjusting it on stream right now, trying to figure out what works best. And I can set up, so I have 4 lights. One's back here, one's right above my desk, and then I got 2 more over there. I can actually set up like a scene and try to figure out what's best. So like if I'm doing a stream or whatever, I can just hit. What are you
using for home? What kind of light is it?
I literally paid $5 for it at Walmart. Like,
oh no.
What?
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I just realized as my cigar sitting here smoking, I'm just gonna put my fume extractor right next to it.
It is a Mercury.
Hey, look at that! My fume extractor is sucking up the smoke that's wisping off the cigar. Haha! Mercury. That's definitely got like a 8266 in it.
I don't know what that means, but I'll find out.
It's like an ESP chip. You could probably run Tasmota on it. All right, so this passed build, and we know those statements were getting evaluated correctly. I just need to check, did I put code in for the CR20 already? I can't remember if I did. Let's see if I did. Okay, I did here. CR20 needs a mini panel. Okay, I got bed size in there. Okay, so that should be good. That's a fairly simple machine.
Yeah, I don't like how it drowns me out. Like this is 18%, and that's fine. I do like
what about 100? What about 100 at just red?
Oh, just red. Like I'm not even adjusting that. I'm adjusting the one right above my head. So
gotcha.
18% is this. That's like perfect based on like the screen plus me.
Yeah.
And then the one about the flags, that's at 100 right now. Brightness.
Yeah, usually like the colors are not as strong with that stuff.
Yeah. Like it definitely makes visual difference, but probably not on the camera.
Yeah, like it makes a difference there physically.
Right, like you can kind of see like 0 versus 100. You're not going to see like 50.
Okay, so what I need to do now is for the CRX is check what I already have in here, which that looks good. But what I have to do is add in the, so it's got the extruders 1. So what I need to do here is add a if enabled CRX, and I'm going to also do this because
all right, I will be right back. I have to go bring my keys downstairs. I'm also going to make another beverage.
You have fun with that.
Be right back.
think that's what I had these defined as. Under 3 dual board, under 5 dual board, yeah. All right, so now I need to put another extruder line in, but this time if those are enabled, it's going to be 2. And if it's not those guys, then we're going to tell it that we only have 1. All right, so I also need to set some options here, which I'm going to go reference back on my other stuff here, which I need to add in the E1 direction settings. Oh no, what this ash is like, because it didn't start out well because that wrapper tore. Had to ash that. But we'll make do. We're getting through it. And we're getting some code done. All right, so I believe single nozzle is still what it's called in stock Marlin. Is it? Yes, it is. It's still single nozzle. Okay. So I have dual. We're not concerned about that right now. Define dual extruder. I think this was a define that I made. Yes. Except I've restructured the code a bit because I'm pretty sure I have these settings. Yes, I do. I have them right here. Okay, so we're going to go back up here. And these I can luckily copy and paste. This is still the same variable. My indents are screwed up though. And I also want to grab those 2 other defines. Where's extruders? There they are. These are also going to need that. Dual board, where was it? Right here. Right here. Enabled CRX. Oh wait, no. I only wanted the CRX. Because these should both be... Why do I have this as true? What did I have here? Where's the E0? I'm going to have to go back to my configs. If enabled CRX, I was setting this to true. And if not, we're going to default. I'm going to go ahead and mute his mic. Oh, apparently I can't mute him. All right, I'm back. I think Tyler is not making loud noises anymore, but I'll just leave him muted. Yeah, go ahead, post in the chat, Pyro. I'm just working on some firmware here. All right, I just need to go back though and reference the older firmware and see what I had for the CRX and the dual board. Because I want to say I might have missed something here for the E on the CRX. Oh, you know what? Because no, it's a different motor, so that makes sense. Okay, so it would be true because it's a right-handed one. Okay, so no, that is correct. Because one goes one way, the other goes the other way. I am going to double check that though. TS3 to UF back end. Tyler, I muted you because something was going on that was very loud. I muted you in StreamYard. And there we go, unmuted.
Am I still not muted?
You're unmuted now.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah. What the hell was that beeping noise?
So apparently my mic doesn't actually mute. So like I'm supposed to be able to flip the mic up and it mutes.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mute on here. So I have to mute myself when I go out. I've got like a cipher lock on my office and my kid pushed the code in one too many times and it just started beeping.
So they can't get in your office?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So apparently whenever I leave the stream here, I need to mute my mic. Like on here, period.
Yeah. I'm just double checking that I have the correct, like, I hear him screwing with it.
How was that?
That's fine. Okay, so I don't have anything. I was wondering why the CRX I had set here, because the code I copied over, I have E1 inverting to true, but for the other ones, I have it to false. And I remembered that the CRX has two different extruders. It's got a left hand and a right hand, and one runs the other way, one runs inverse of that. So it's been a while since I messed with that machine, but that's correct. So we're good on that. So that'll handle the reverse motor direction. I don't know why I had this stuff in here, because like this could have just been in the normal firmware. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these because I know I'm not going to need them. So single hot end. What was that?
Have you already answered the question from Pyro Kim Dog?
He didn't. I didn't see one getting posted. I did tell him go ahead and post it. And
can I ask a question from an ECDBL Pro on my Ender 3?
Yeah, so I'm gonna put. So I got to have a defined single nozzle for the CRX. I think I'm gonna stick it by all the motors here. Maybe I'll put it by the hot end since it's a hot end setting. There we go. So if enabled CRX, we're gonna go ahead and define a single nozzle because that's 2 into 1. And that should be it for the CRX then, aside from the filament sensors. So I have, I should already have easy out stuff. Yeah, so here I said for dual extrusion machines, the firmware assumes you have a sensor for each extruder. I don't know why you wouldn't, but I can always make it more elaborate, be able to select between one or two. But for now, I am going to have to put this in here. If enabled CRX, then we're going to set the number of runout sensors to 2. If they also have, the easy out enabled. But I think right now this is going to define a filament sensor for. This is going to find a filament sensor for all of them. So the ones that do not come with filament sensors by default are the CR20, the CR, and the CRX. All these other ones, like the S models, these should all have filament sensors here. So I need to add an exception for the CRX and the CR20 to only turn the filament sensor option on for these two machines if also this is enabled, because they're going to assume then that they're using our kits with those.
Do they not come stock with those?
The CR20 and the CRX do not come with a sensor, a filament sensor at all.
Well, seems like an oversight. But that's just my opinion.
No, I mean, we have them supported with our upgrade kits, but they do not come with one.
Like, I don't know why a dual color printer wouldn't come with one, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Save money from China, I guess.
Okay, so if that's disabled, we're going to enable the runout filament sensor. But we also want to put some other conditional logic in here. So if enabled CRX or enabled CR20, and we want to put these in brackets. So if either one of these is true, and called easy out enable, that it'll define that. Or no, maybe I should try to think of the best way to handle this. the least amount of code. Might have to have a couple blocks here.
What are you trying to do again?
No, I'm just thinking through my head. So if enable CRX, no, actually, all I should have to do if enabled CRX and disabled, we're just not going to do anything. And we'll have an else if CR20 and disabled, because these will not have, apparently can't type tonight. These will not have a stock sensor, so we're also going to do nothing. We're stepping through this, but I do an else. So we should step through this. Is it elif? I think it's elif, right? ELIF?
Yes.
Or is it else if? I can never remember. I always like second. It's elif. Okay.
Else if is like,
yeah,
it's sharp.
So basically, we're stepping through. So this turns off the filament sensor, but it should keep it on other machines. So like, let me double check the code here. So if that's enabled and they uncomment, okay, they bought the upgrade kit. They got the sensors. Okay, so now we're lighting up and we're hitting filament run out sensors. So we're going to catch the instances where these machines that don't come with them and they also haven't added, told it that, hey, I'm using your sensors. It just does nothing. But I also don't want it to interfere with the other ones that do come with it. So like the Ender 5 Plus also has a filament sensor. Make sure here that it's lighting it up. It is. Okay, so it's working as intended. It's like I think it in my head, and most of the time I'm right, but there are times where I've been wrong. So I just like to check my work. That's all. The cigar is very, like the ash is not very firm on this one for some reason. Let me look at the chat here. Ender 3 SKR E3 Mini, my condolences. Just recently having problems with the offset chain. Every time I turn off print after and try to reprint after slightly lower to adjust my squish. I've been seeing a lot of people saying with the SKR boards, they've been having those issues, especially with the latest version of Marlin. If you update it to ours or you updated, I don't know if you run it Marlin or our branch of that. I don't know if it's something with the board, but I haven't seen it on like these machines running the same exact firmware, but they have a different board. And same thing with stuff with the Easy board. Haven't seen that same thing. But I would probably recommend running through, doing an M48 test, and if that comes back good, then it could be either a software issue or something with the board. There was also a guy in our Discord server the other night that had some random filament sensor he bought that's wired the same as ours, and he had it plugged directly into the filament sensor header on the E3 Mini. And the problem is that the signal and the 5-volt are flipped, so it was basically when his filament wasn't present in there, was shorting out the 5-volt rail. But because Big Tree Tech uses voltage regulators that don't have short circuit protection, it just stays on, but it screws with the 5-volt. And eventually will damage the 5-volt regulator. But I actually looked up their part number. I was like, they should have, most regulators have, not all, but most quality ones will have a way to detect if there's a short circuit condition and shut it down to prevent damage. But that's not the case with the one they're using. So, but I would check the M48 test. If it's coming back good, good being under 0.01, then I would say it could be related to software, because I have seen, if you look on the Martin issue queue, There's a lot of people with SKRs having like Z offset drift, and I have the same issue on my SKR 1.4, and I'm going to be replacing that with a MKS S-Gen LV2 because I'm tired of dealing with it. Like, it also locks up on me, but I'm not getting into that. So, anyways, back on topic here. So what did I have uncommented? Because I'll make sure this code is working. But yeah, I was shocked that their voltage regulators didn't have short circuit protection, because we were talking about, I was like looking at it, I was like, send me a link to the random sensor you got on Amazon. And I was like, oh, it's the same pinout as the one we have. So I plugged ours in, and you see the LCD dim, and I was like, huh, that's weird. It's being shorted out, but it's not shutting off. And then I pulled the part number up and found the data sheet, and sure enough, there's no short circuit protection on their regulators, which is wild, because you would want that, because how are you going to know something's wrong if it doesn't shut off? Like, it's just fully loading the regulator then, and it's not enough to trip the fuse too. For some reason, they have a 2.5 amp fuse, and a direct short on the 5 volt is not enough to trip that fuse. So, but like, for comparison, the regulators we use on the Easy board, they all have short, not only thermal protection, but short circuit protection. So if you hook something up wrong, it should protect itself to prevent damage, whereas the other ones, they just keep going on. But all right, so let me see what I have here. I think this is all looking good. The only thing I need to check, which I'm going to have to pull out an actual board and the sensor here. I think I have both the sensors. Let me check.
Brady's in the house. What do you expect from a cheap Chinese board? Exactly. Oh, Griffin's in here too.
All right, so I have, let's see, I should have a Creality board in here, 2560. Yes, I do. These are my this is my Boxo boards, 8-bit boards working. And in here I should have filament sensors. Here's, okay, I got ours, which I need to test. So like, this is why I don't actually need the printers anymore to test, because I have the boards and I'm able to test stuff and know if things are working correctly just by hooking up what I need to hook up. I'm trying to find, that's a D6 adapter board. That's a standard. That's the one I'm looking for. Where's my little 3-pin? Oh, here's a standard with 3-pin. Okay. The question is, I thought I had a Creality sensor in here for testing, and I'm not seeing it. Because I keep one of their sensors on hand just to make sure that I got the logic right on the firmware side of things. Now, obviously I have the Seriton V2 right here, so I can test that. But I think this uses a different sensor than the other one. I could grab my Solvol one, it's the same. I'm going to grab the Solvol one. Set that down over there. So what's new with you, Tyler?
Absolutely nothing. Just sitting here, wasting away in Alaska. Trying to build mostly printed CNC. So we'll see how that goes.
I heard those are fun.
Honestly, like, I'm a full supporter of, like, sourcing my own parts and stuff.
Oh wait, I just went up and got that sensor when I literally have one sitting on my desk right here. Damn it!
Anyway, like, mostly printed CNC, like, the guy gives you, like, everything you need. He's like, if you want to source these, go for it. But, like, I think I paid $175 and I just got everything sent to me.
What is that? Is that the... No, there's another one. Isn't there another one that does, like, another CNC that's printed? What's the name of the company you order from?
V1 Engineering.
Oh, okay. Hey, look what the cat dragged in.
Griffin.
It's Griffin.
You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Griffin, you got to say it. I'm an engineer.
Trust me, I'm an engineer. Almost.
Are you an engineer yet, though?
One more semester, I will be.
I've got 4-ish.
You're
I
an
would
engineer.
say-
You're an engineer in my heart, Griffin. You know more. You know more about electronic engineering than actual engineering in this industry. Engineers that.
And it's funny because I'm
Well,
literally not even a double E mechanical engineering major.
I mean, you've got like an American program, and then you got the Chinese program. Like the Chinese are like, "Hey, here's everything you know for electrical engineering." You're like, "Okay."
I'm like a PhD in the Chinese program. So. Don't worry, I got that one.
I mean, you just got to follow common sense. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I saw you talking about the fuse thing we were discussing in the meeting the other day.
Yeah. Well, because I was like, why? Like I was telling, I was like, their board is it's shorting the ground. It should be shutting off. Like, why the hell is it not shutting off?
Well, their old regulator did.
Well, their old regular overheated, and that's why it shut off. So it hit the thermal protection. So I guess the goal there is let's just let it bump up and hit thermal protection, and that's the short circuit protection. When it gets hot enough, it shuts off.
I thought that's what you wanted, Tim. I can
No.
change the.
It's not what I wanted.
Change the AC
I'm
board.
pretty. This board is in my box of boards that is labeled working. So let's see what COM port did this show up on.
So let's hope that it's actually working.
We're gonna find out. I mean, I don't care if the motors move and stuff. I just use this to test IOs. What are we on? We're on 13 now, I think.
Are you drinking a Jones soda, Griffin?
I am indeed.
Oh, good lord.
I've never had one. Can't say I will buy another.
You drink White Claw, Tyler.
Hey, White Claw's the shit. Okay?
He's up there. You know, I still got zombie dust in my fridge, but the wife and I have been cutting back on drinking as like a challenge thing she's doing, which by extension means I'm doing.
I think
But
I have.
guess
two
what doesn't
White
guess
Claws
what
left.
doesn't have calories in it?
That is true.
Cigars.
Tyler,
Cigars,
you look
calories.
like you got the full setup there. You moved in pretty quick.
He did. He's getting there. Oh, I totally forgot. I feel bad. Blasto Supreme asked what I was smoking tonight. I'm smoking the Leather Rose by Deadwood Tobacco Company, which I believe is Drew Estates. It's really good. It's sweet. All right, we're uploading to the board. You see that?
Mechanical or smart, so yes. I agree
This
with
printer
that.
is not complete at all. Doesn't even have an extruder. Nothing.
Hang on. Let me feature Tyler. There we go. Oh, there you go.
That printer has nothing. No extruder. No nothing.
Is it a hypercube?
No, it's an Anycubic 4 Max. Not the Pro, just the 4 Max. Random Ender 3.
Is that
with-
snow out there?
yeah, that's all stuff.
Oh gosh, it is Alaska. I mean,
Tyler in fucking Alaska.
I could take my iMac and actually show you outside. We've literally got like a foot and a half snow on the ground right now. It was supposed to snow, I think Tuesday, like another 4 inches.
yeah, I was in a short sleeve shirt and t-shirt. What am I saying? Shorts and a t-shirt today.
So yeah, none of this is actually like set up.
I'm
Just
jealous.
all boxes that were shoved over to the side, just so I could have some room for my computer setup. Over the flags, those are awesome.
Yeah, I like it. I'm jealous of the maker spaces everyone's got.
Yeah, this one's 16 foot by 12 foot ish. So I've also got my flight simulator right here. You can't see it, it's right next to my desk. So like my desk is over here in the corner. I've got my flight sim set up right here.
Nerd.
It's not completely set up yet. I'm still trying to find my processor. So if anybody out there would like to hook me up with a 5950X or 5900X,
You and your AMDs. You and Griffin can, touch your nipples while you talk about how much you love your AMDs.
Hey man,
And Griffin's an AMD fanboy too.
my AMD puts in some work.
Does it though?
I mean, it's pretty quick. Does a job.
You know,
for
I
me.
just realized I didn't. I was testing whatever. Let's test it with the CRX. I was like, why am I not getting LCD? Oh, because I uncommented the wrong printer for the hardware I just hooked up.
I'll put my nipples in the ring. Oh god.
Oh no! Oh, look at. Oh nope. We're looking. Oh, it's complaining that I redefined something.
It's yellow.
So like, yeah, it's not red. It's not a fail compile. It's a hey idiot.
It's yelling at you, but it's not yelling.
It is.
Yelling.
So I probably have a duplicate. It's saying that. Where is it? It's saying that invert E was redefined. So where did I thought I only had one. Oh nope. There we go. That's that right there. Forgot to take that out. That's why it was yelling at me. But look at it compiled. Oh,
And it's writing.
it's writing. I think this LCD is new, and I think I have other Creality boards I can test on. This one was in my working box. It wasn't in the this shit's broke box. So I have a this shit is broke box. It says 4 parts not working. But I mean, like this board does. Oh, you know why this one's missing a terminal? I think this one had a bad E driver, but this one would probably be fine for testing firmware. If for some reason this one doesn't work, so I'm a pack rat. Okay.
You think you're a pack rat? Okay.
We already filled up the shop. I actually just because no one's here on the weekends. I just fucking had to build a bunch of racking and shit out there.
I saw your post this morning. You were talking about going to clean the shop, and then I went to go shopping because that's what I do up here. That's everything.
I'm gonna laugh. This is an LCD that I had for testing. I took pictures of it, and I'm gonna laugh if this is like DOA and this is like a brand new LCD like Creality sent me. I threw it in my parts bin because I took pictures of it, and then
Used it for the product page, but
I use it for photos.
doesn't even
but
work. That sucks.
But I never. To be fair, it was banging around here quite a bit, so maybe I.
Oh, I've killed a few just like picking them up. I don't know why, but they're the whatever like hex buffers are on the back. I kill just by like touching them.
Well, I have another one here.
It's also extremely dry up here in Alaska. So, like, I can literally walk to my door right now and I'll get shocked by the fucking doorknob. So I can imagine trying to work on it.
Yeah, you gotta have like a humidifier or something.
If this one doesn't, if this one I know works, this one's like probably
$360 for a 5800X. That's amazing.
Yeah,
No.
Walmart had a pricing fuck up.
So this LCD is not happy with me for some reason. This other one worked. Okay, EEPROM version error.
I will send you the link, Griffin.
Oh, that's awesome. We finally got a PS5 yesterday. That was the
I feel really
big
dumb.
thing we were trying to get.
I have the firmware set up for the CRX, which uses our touchscreen conversion, which means I should be using the same screen as the touchscreen conversion.
That could help.
The standard 120 to 64, not the Creality one.
160 for a Ryzen 5. That's pretty good. That's like Micro Center pricing.
So
Do
that
you have a Micro Center near you, Griffin?
I have 2. I have one like 15 minutes away and another one like 35 minutes away.
Yeah, ours is about an hour now. It's the same one that we had when we were in Chicago.
I think the one here
we
is
didn't
like
live in
the
Chicago, but
original.
just like, you know what I mean, like out in the Chicagoland area.
Yeah.
We had one last.
I mean, honestly, like an hour drive, that's not too bad. I know people that are literally going like 3-4 hours to get to one. So,
Yeah. Okay, so what I can do now, so I have a board, got firmware, I got LCD, my coder, S3D just connected to the board, or tried to.
Columbus, Ohio is the original. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta. Near like the Marietta
115,
one.
200, connect.
It's pretty old though.
So this is one thing I noticed with S3D with the new version of Marlin. So if you notice, it does like communicate, but it still says connection failed. There's actually an article already on this. If you go to tools, firmware configuration, and then communication, you uncheck wait for startup command, and then hit OK, and then now it'll actually work. this took me like an hour to figure out why S3 wouldn't connect to the new boards or the new firmware.
I heard everyone was having issues with Octoprint.
I don't know if it's the same. I haven't. I've got a mix of old and new firmware printers here, and I don't have issues with any of them. I think a lot of that could also be user inflicted.
Yeah.
So
I honestly, I'm not one to like update my firmware if it's working. I'm probably
it's not like a computer.
not the most common.
You don't have to update your
Exactly.
firmware.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
I mean,
let's
if it
test-
ain't broke, don't fix it.
So my high-tech end-stop tester, aka I'm going to shove this tool into the end-stop port and see if we go from trigger to open, because these are in
The Creality in-stop testers.
There we go. So Y, the X.
Fun way to do it.
Are you making fun of me?
That's literally how I do them too.
All right. So now what I want to do is define two filament sensors. Because I got the CRX config test here. I want to make sure that the logic is correct for high or low. If I can't remember. I think ours uses low logic. There's only so much stuff I can keep in my head, and other stuff I just reference.
Ours uses low.
That's what I thought.
There's a pull-up on the filament sensor.
Yeah. Oh, I could also just look at the I could just look at the source code for the Easy board, because we account for both Creality sensors and oh God. Is that you, Griffin, or is that Tyler?
That was not me.
I just muted myself. My wife's outside the doors laughing.
Is she yelling at the kids?
She was laughing, I guess. She
Oh.
was like right outside the door.
Okay, so easy out V2 enable the state is low, and high would be the CR10 stock filament one. Oh, so I'm gonna have to actually count for that too, because here's the thing: the Ender 5 Plus. Wait, no, the Ender 5 Plus should use a step. Well, I have the Ender 5 Plus sensor right here, so I'll test that in a sec.
It's not the same one.
Yeah, no, it's a different one. So like I'm talking about like making sure the stock sensors work. So I got one from SVO1. I also have one from Creality. But they should be basically the same sensor. So we'll find out. We're going to test right now.
Yeah, look, it's rain. Honestly, Micro Center is like really stocking 3D printing stuff. I used to buy filament there back when they had like 10 rolls at a time.
I found
Now
a
they've
crappy
got,
BL Touch clone
several.
that I bought. Do you guys remember when I did that AliExpress like shopping thing? Oh, here's my Creality sensor. It's right here. It should have been in my box. Okay, we have all the sensors now. Now we can test sensors to our heart's content. Oh yeah, Simplify 3D finally got back to me after a week and a half of not being able to activate software that we own 4 licenses for. I thought we only had 3. Apparently we have 4. I could only find invoices for 3. But I thought we had 4. But I was like, oh, maybe we only bought 3. No, we have 4. I was a little fucking pissed because it's like, come on. Okay, so filament 1 should be open, which is true because there's nothing in it. Hang on. I gotta, and their other one should be the inverse of this. So if I plug the stock one, the Creality one in here, switch this around, now it's showing triggered. That's inverse of ours. Now the only thing is, I want to say the Ender 5 Plus, even though it's a Creality sensor, uses a different logic. Yeah, because I had the Creality one hooked up with the Ender 5 Plus one. So basically, the CR10 ones use an inverse logic compared to ours. But like the Solvo SVO1, I want to say that uses the same logic. I had a piece of filament sitting on my desk, literally just for shoving into filament sensors. When I'm testing, I don't know where it went. That's okay. We can cut another piece off. So let's see. Here's the SVO1. I got the light triggered, open, and I think Render 5 Plus. Ooh, almost lost my cigar there. And Ender 5 Plus, light on, M119 triggered. And then the easy out. Triggered, not triggered, okay. So,
I'll be right back.
okay. If I go back to the stock reality sensor, it should be inverse. It should show triggered, and there's nothing in it, and it'll show open. It's inverse. That light's on. Yep, open, triggered, okay. So the Ender 5 Plus and the Solval SVO1, those both use the same logic as ours, but the actual CR10 sensor uses the high logic. So if enabled, easy out, enable. No, that's not what I want. So the Ender 5 Plus, which ones do I have in this list here? So the Ender 5 Plus, CR10 V2, and the CR10S Pro, those all have the same newer style. So all the Corellia ones have the newer style metal housing that's got the 4 bolts. Those, which these all have, those all use the same logic as ours. The only issue I'm going to have is I think I should just have them specify what sensor they're using. That should be the easiest one.
So have you switched over to doing like a fully unified 2 branch now? Is unified 1 pretty much just like done?
I'm not doing any other updates to it. That's why I'm working on getting everything moved over to this.
Got it. Yeah. Makes sense.
That's the goal here. I'm just trying to think of how to account for this. So the 4 machines that would have the inverted logic sensor potentially, because they came with them, is the CR10S, CR10S Mini, CR10SS4, and the CR10SS5. But there's also people that have used, like they've replaced that sensor. Like all these machines here, aside from the CR20 and CRX, all came with filament sensors. But I'm sure there's also people too that have replaced that sensor with ours on some occasions. So I have to account for that variable as well. So I guess what I'll do, this should just be all it is. And then I only need to account for if these 4 machines are uncommented and this is not uncommented to set the logic correctly. So I'm just going to put these here so I know. So basically, we've already accounted for the ones that don't have it. We're assuming that the other ones have it. And all I need to do, so basically, and we put these in brackets here. But my others are true. And what that means is if any of these printers are enabled and easy out enable is disabled, meaning they're using the stock sensor, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to set the filament runout state to high because that's what that sensor uses. Otherwise, any other setups, we're going to go to low.
It's a Triangle Labs filament runout sensor. What is that?
Yeah, I know they have one. There's like a it's like an end stop switch setup dealy. Okay, so I need to make sure this logic works in my brain. So let's test real quick while I have this connected. Let's test the easy out on Y plus. I don't think that's defined, which I have to add additional code. Oh, they might have already set that in the pins file. They did. Okay, so Marlon picked up on that when they were doing the pins file. So filament 2, this is connected to Y plus. And put filament in there. That's showing triggered. All right. So that means now is I can go ahead and test one of these S configs, see if it looks good in VS Code. Swear to God, oh wait. I want that. Go ahead. Okay, it did. It worked. Went to high. So let's see if that works. It should be good.
Apparently, my 3-year-old decided to help himself to a full melatonin, so he should be good to go.
He's going to be
You
really
just drugging your kids there, Tyler?
So we have like a bottle of, it's like dissolvable, chewable, whatever you want to call it, from Walmart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a safety cap, so you can just open it.
I mean, it's melatonin, so it's not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna kill him.
He's going to be out like a rock.
Yeah,
Honestly, like 2 of those will knock me out in like 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, a quarter pill for him is like, he gets to the point where he's like crawling on me. He's like, "Daddy, I want to go night-night." I'm like, okay, man, you're good, you're good.
I don't know if you know this, Griffin, but Tyler has 5 kids.
You're busy, I'm sure.
He's got a little army there.
So since none of my family or anybody else's family is on the stream, there is a 6th kid in the works.
What?
Oh, congrats.
Tyler, you're nuts. Jesus. We're still working on trying to get 1.
Quarantine plus, negative 30 in Alaska equals baby, I guess.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a baby boom already.
Oh, just you wait.
It will happen. I have a feeling.
From all like the lockdowns and shit?
Honestly, like it's I think it's going to be the other way. Like I think you're going to see more people break up from being together for so long. Like stuck in the same place.
I'm not going to disagree. There's a reason, like you also need your space too. Like think about people that are like in like little fucking studio apartments and shit in these like bigger cities.
Yeah.
And they're stuck with their, like you can't be on top of your significant other all the time. It doesn't work out. Even in a good relationship. Like
Yeah.
it's just not how it works. All right, so this looks good. So here's what I like to do now. So now that I have like a bunch of progress made, I have the folder here. I think I'm running out of the CR10V2 211B.
That's such a good comment.
Wait, what folder am I in? Villains File Explorer. Yeah, so I guess I just never updated my folder name. So I'm operating out of this folder. So what I want to do now is merge all my changes up to GitHub, and that looks correct. So there shouldn't be anything other than configuration.h changed. And I want to update my ramps board So let's go ahead, and these should be commented out by default on the GitHub repo because obviously people are going to uncomment their printer. But this is just in the testing branch. So this is public. So once I push this, if you have one of these printers and want to be a guinea pig, go ahead.
So both of my i3 minis are actually still in their respective boxes. I haven't gotten them out yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that little like 150 millimeter square one?
It's like 120 by 110 by 150 or something.
Yeah,
I got one in
that
here.
Micro Center. They're pretty cool looking, honestly.
I gave the V2 away that had the heated bed, but I put a heated bed on my V1.
It's like the power spec, whatever.
Yeah.
They throw them on sale for like $99, which is pretty incredible.
So I have 2 of them. And Tim was supposed to hook me up with that one heated bed thing that he did. I was supposed to send him money. That never happened.
Well, I've got the power supplies and the beds. I still got them sitting in a bin over here.
Does it have a MOSFET on board for it already?
No, it's got an I/O pin, but the MOSFETs we carry have a signal level input.
Okay.
Not a power, like it does like you can feed 12 volts into it, but you said there's 2 inputs. There's one that actually does like 12 to 24 input. There's another one that's just if you're directly controlling from I/O pin.
It also doesn't have a dedicated part cooling fan. And if you try to use the part cooling fan, it doesn't have PWM. Like
yeah, it's on or off. I didn't put a layer fan on. I actually did a split duct.
Like I have the split duct, but even trying to put it down is weird. Like you try to put the first layer down. I've tried to experiment everything.
Dude, I use mine to print. All sorts of drone parts. I do TPU on that one.
TPU
might be super short.
Okay, this should be 211C. Okay, so let's see. Reality 560 machine updates. This is going to the testing branch, so we'll go ahead and push those changes. All right, let's see how we're doing on the. Let me actually upload that firmware to this actual printer and make sure everything's still hunky dory.
I'll sit here like a.
Just something bottoming out. This should be on COM 14. Refresh. Yep, 14. And I need to tell this is a CR10 V2, and I have the CR10 V2 OEM mount. Let's go ahead and upload.
All right, I'm gonna call one of my people real quick. Put myself on mute. So
what are you gonna trying to get that PS5, bruh?
No.
Everybody's so obsessed with fucking PS5.
I'll sell you one for $1,200 if you want it.
Our ISP likes to block out a lot of stuff on their combination modem router. Like even if you use your own router, they like to throttle your speed.
Dude, I could easily get around all that and get it set up with your actual router if you just like connected me into your computer.
Well, I finally got it, and he just sent me a message saying, like, he just bought. I took him, so he's a brand new airman here to base. Doesn't have a car or anything, so I took him to Fairbanks earlier. He bought like this Wi-Fi.
I'm uploading. Well, apparently Stream Deck doesn't work right now. Oh, there it goes. I'm uploading my config right now.
Being single phase.
I brought him to Fairbanks so he could buy some stuff. He brought a TV and some LED lights to connect via Wi-Fi. And with these routers, you can only have like one Wi-Fi band, both 5 and 2.4G. So he just rolled with it. I'm
2.4G, man. G.
Yeah.
You a G?
He wants to be separate, like 2.4G versus 5G. So I'm going to call him real quick and explain to him how to do it.
Oh, you have fun with that.
Yes, I will be right back.
You're a better friend than I. All right, I'm going to do an M502, reset the EEPROM M500, and we're going to do a G28. Let's see. Think it's going to work?
So far, so good. The heck was that?
What am I doing right now, Griffin? What command am I running?
M84.
M48.
Close enough.
And what do you think the standard deviation is?
0.0028.
Oh!
Oh man, I was close.
Look at that.
I saw a couple people in the forums over the last couple of months get like triple O,
Yeah,
like
stupid
threes
low.
and stuff, and I'm like, okay.
Anything under 0.01 is just bragging, but I like.
Well, it's fun to see.
So
I think
So this is something that I'm testing. So the only thing here's the thing I don't like about it. Okay, so they have in the new Marlin builds. I think no, my autofocus is on. It's just not. Oh wait, my ring light's not on. So on this new firmware build. Oh god, let's get that. All right. So if you go to configuration, and this is not like officially released yet. This is something to play with. So you see this Z offset wizard. So it's homing the printer right now. And now you can set, it says move nozzle to bed, and you can move down in different increments.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Now, the only problem is this doesn't heat the bed.
I guess you gotta have it heated first.
Yeah, that's the problem. So, I mean, it's there. And then, like, obviously we have the standard offset and baby stepping. And this is a 2560 board. This actually isn't even a 32-bit board. This is a 2560 board running Marlin 2. This is a stock board in this printer.
There's enough memory.
Well, surprisingly, the 2560 is actually really well optimized for the compile size compared to some other boards that are out that are 32-bit.
Well, that was like the original processor. Right?
So this processor has the same amount of memory that Big Tree Tech's boards have. So
512 or 256.
it's 256.
Okay.
Like the Big Tree Tech boards at 256. So this chip that's like 15, 16 years old has the same amount of memory as the chip that Big Tree Tech is selling on their boards. And Marlin's better optimized for this too.
They need like a megabit.
We're only using 150K right now. We're using 150K.
That's like super optimized. Isn't it like it's got to be
Theirs
closer
is like,
to what 200 for the
theirs is yeah. Well, for the SKR E3s, they're like they're like
that's pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's rain got 0.000785. Yeah,
and these actually have an EEPROM. The Atmel 2560s actually have 4K EEPROM.
Yeah.
I think it's 4K. Pretty sure it's 4K.
I don't. You don't need like a ton of EEPROM.
Yeah. But one thing I want to check now. So now that I've made these changes here, I think I enabled it for everything on here for the wizard. If it's not, hang on. Yeah, so Space Saber is disabled. So I doubt I'm able to use the Probe Wizard on the 1284p boards. We're already pushing up against that limit. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's okay. Like,
yeah, no, it's upgrade your damn board.
The majority of people are pushing out boards nowadays.
Yeah, so if I go here, I can get rid of these. I don't need anymore. I'm done with these. I'm gonna do this. Let me just do 1284p. So this is what I do every time. Beta 1114.
Yeah, I remember
20.
before easy firmware, you had to compile every single one.
Well, I still do test compiles on like the other stuff. But I'm gonna make sure I didn't break anything on like especially the 1284p configs. I don't think I did because I'm mostly working on the config file itself. But I did enable that wizard. I want to see if we do have enough memory to run the wizard on these because I know we had some space left over on the 1284s once we did the optimized compile on it. So let's see here. So if I want to change that, I'm going to open this up, configure ADV. These all share the same one, so let's just see. Let's see if we overflow on memory. So this is just a quick way to find out. Let's see if the compile passes. How many people do we have watching? Oh, it says we got 26 people watching. 26 people have nothing better to do on a Saturday night than to watch a bunch of nerds. Okay,
It's almost midnight, too. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's 10:49.
Oh, well.
Shit, I've been going for an hour and a half. This cigar's been, I've been like milking this thing. This hasn't gone out though. I'll give that shit props. This has not gone out at all. I'm probably going to chop a little bit because it's compiling my CPU. Platform IO loves multi-thread, which is great.
Yeah, has the compile speed gone down a good bit since we switched to VS Code?
Oh, God, yeah. Like, that was 45 seconds. Okay, look at this. We're actually at 95% usage, even with the wizard on for the Melzy boards.
Huh. Let's
see here. Let me turn on some other options like linear advance. So that puts
you can't
us
even
at,
use linear advance. Oh, I guess you can.
yeah, the Melzy's with the 4988s you can. Did you know that the 1284p has more RAM than 2560, but less program memory?
Strange. Honestly,
they're the same
like
speed
age.
CPU. They're both 16 megahertz 8-bit processors.
God, 16 megahertz is just so slow.
I know.
It's just so strange how they choose like to use that processor still. Because I think they're
Ooh,
more
look at,
expensive.
okay, so we're at 97.5. Now here's the real test. BL Touch with all this enabled. Because BL Touch, remember, you got a bunch of menus that come on the screen for BL Touch and all the stow and the probe stow commands and all that other shit. Let's see. I've actually done a lot. I probably have like 22 hours, I think is what I have on the project timeline. So I have like a project management tool I use just for optimizing space on the 1284p boards. Oh, fuck yeah. Look at that. We're good. Okay, so that means all of these machines can get the probe wizard. So I need to merge my changes in, which should just be like, that's the thing. The only times I've like done a bunch of edits and then I completely forget to merge my changes up to GitHub. And then I'm like, I spent all this time on it. And I'm like, oh, I'm done with that file. And I delete it. I'm like, there's hours of work gone. Okay, so the only thing that should be different is this, which it is.
Is there an LPC with 1 meg of memory? Not that I know of.
No, I think they're all 512. Okay, so now the test is, let's go ahead and grab a copy of this. And let's test the SKR E3 211C. Let's see if those actually have enough space, because those are so weird because the code is so poorly optimized for those processors. It comes out way larger than any other target. Like the LPC, the 8 bits, like.
Are you talking about the STMs?
The F1s, yeah.
I think it's because it uses a generic STM32 like library, whereas the other ones are a little more specialized.
Right, because they've had more time. Like the LPCs, there's been more time to work on it. Like,
oh yeah, I think the LPC was like the first 32-bit processor in Marlin. Don't
yeah,
quote me.
I mean that was one of the reasons we went with it. It was a more mature platform.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Back when the Easy Board got released and stuff, like.
Wait, why is my config showing that this is uncommented? Hang on, I think I have. Well, this is on my testing branch, so it really doesn't matter. It will when I go to push it though. This should be commented out. Just double check that. Fast probe, custom steps. Layer advance. Okay, we're good. That should be commented out. Glad I caught that because if I push that out, that'd be very awkward. Okay, so let's see. Let's whatever. I'm just gonna define a custom probe. I'm gonna turn on all the options because that's really what's gonna make or break it. Is if everything's on, this shit's still gonna work. Like, are we gonna have enough memory? Let's see.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
Have you guys ever heard the term band steering?
Band steering for like Wi-Fi? Yeah, it's a pain in the
Yes.
ass. Don't use it.
So apparently that's enabled by default on our, like, ISPs, router, modem.
Yeah,
combos.
it causes issue with IoT devices. I have Unify calls that DFS, dynamic frequency switching. So yeah, you should definitely turn that off. But that's usually only on the 5 gigahertz band, not the 2.4. And most of your IoT shit is on the 2.4. Hey, look at that. We're good on the SKRs. I do have some space saving measures in place on the SKRs though. So
What
if
did
the
it compile
1284 pass, 220 940 964. Yeah, that's the problem here. Like this is showing 262 114 bytes.
It's a
I
little
should have
closer.
this set as a. I should have this. Yeah, this is the 256K target.
I mean, in
No,
theory,
it's
it works.
good. That's good because this is a huge amount of progress that I just got out. Like I said, there's like a good 7 or 8 hours on the 2560 board configs that I didn't stream that you're not seeing. But the fact that all those actually compiled and they're all working is great. So that means I should be able to retire Unified 1. My goal is I'm trying to get it retired by the end of the year. That's what I'd like
You
to
pretty
be
much
at.
got everything baked into at this point. It seems.
Yeah, so I mean the hardest part was getting everything optimized and getting it all the getting all the code size down. Like that was the main thing. So, but I'm pretty happy where it's at. This is on Marlin 2072. I don't think they have a new build out yet. I think 2072 is the latest. Obviously, they have bug fix, but I don't like using bug fix. I don't like using stuff that's not an official release.
I like using bug fix, but definitely not for release.
Tyler, do you?
Yeah, they're still on 2072 is the latest, which was 16 days ago.
Are you one of the people that updates your firmware pretty frequently?
It depends on what printer.
I mean, I'm gonna send this. I'm gonna send
Like,
this
I have
CR10V2 out to the print farm, and it's probably not gonna get updated until there's an issue with it.
Yeah, that's kind of my.
Like my ABS Ender 3, I couldn't even tell you what firmware is on that. Like it's unified firmware, but I guarantee
all of our
a year
ABS ones are over a year.
old.
They're over a year old.
Yeah. So it's probably the same one Tim uses. Like if the shit works and I don't see any like, hey, I should probably update because this XYZ got fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the way to do it. I don't know. I see a lot of people that update. Maybe they just got a board or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, I'm having issues with whatever feature now," and I'm just like, just stick with what works. So.
Like if you print something and it prints great, you're like, hey, why would I ever update? Don't update. Like just don't do it.
Yeah,
Back
so
when
remember I was telling you guys about I remember people telling me there were reported issues with the SKR boards and bed leveling. This is it. I'm not seeing this on the 20. Like I'm not seeing this on the Melzy boards. I'm not seeing this on the Easy board. I'm not seeing this on Creality's 2560 boards. Tyler, what was that?
That was yours, Tim.
That was not me.
It
That
could be
baby-
me, but I don't know how. I'll go.
That
up.
vaping, that sounded like a smoke alarm.
It sounded like your smoke alarm, Tim.
No, there's no smoke alarm in this office.
They were
I have heat detectors in the garage. I do not have smoke detectors in the garage.
Griffin's like, oh fuck, smoke detector's going off. See ya. No, that was not me. That must have been Griffin. I heard my headset too.
Yeah, I definitely heard it in my headset. But I can actually check here. Let's see. Nest Protect. We're all good.
Home screen.
Yeah. It says everything is okay, Tyler. Everything is okay.
Well, I mean, Griffin is now muted and video muted, so.
He's in an apartment building, so it could be someone else.
I mean, I'm in a quadplex, but I don't have a neighbor, like direct neighbor right now. So if like something's burning down, some shit's burning down. Like somebody has not called 911 by now, and it's burned through my empty neighbor's house as well.
So I'm checking. I'm just checking
it was
here.
Me. I don't know what the hell it was.
That was definitely a smoke detector.
It sounds like it, but like nothing's on fire. So
that you know of, not yet.
Hey, I got insurance.
You have insurance on the stuff. What about you?
So like I just searched offset here. This might be the one, but like I said, I don't know what version I'm running on Marlin. I'm on for the printer back here, my ABS machine that I use. That's got a 1.4 turbo in it, and I just like I have to screw with the offset all the time. But if I was like, okay, well maybe the sensor's going out. Nope, I put the old 8-bit board back in there, and everything worked how it should. So
yeah, the only time I've had an issue with like the repeatability was when I didn't adjust the actual.
You didn't read the directions when you didn't read directions for the product for the product that you helped design the board.
That was literally when I was like testing the original Pro boards.
Yeah, because I did the schematic. I did the schematic and all the components. I did the schematic and everything for you. I had you do all the layout because I was just too fucking busy. But it's funny that you the product that you did all the board layout for. You didn't even read the directions.
I mean,
on how to use it.
I thought I was too smart to read the directions, which proves you're literally never too smart to read the directions.
It proves that you're the.
When you design a product, you should still read the instructions for the product.
You're a typical engineer.
Yeah, Mr. I'm an engineer over here.
Guilty as charged, I guess.
Yeah.
So where's the Easy Board Heavy in development?
Oh.
You mean the Pro?
No, it's the Heavy, like the Falcon.
We're not calling it the Heavy. Oh, you're making it. He's not. We're not Elon Musk over here, okay?
You got the Easy Board Light. Might as well do the Easy Board Heavy.
That'd be funny.
I like that actually. You know what?
We could have called the Pro when the Pro comes out. It's not going to be the Pro. It's the Heavy.
Glasses came off, Tim. It's fucking real right now. Griffin's like, all right, let's do this. Clean glasses. Yep.
We could call the Pro the Heavy. That'd be funny.
Do it, please.
Do the Heavy. Everyone keeps spinning Pro. That is true. That is true.
You know, it'd be funny if we have an eat. Oh, I'm gonna let. Okay, this cigar is done. Starting to get harsh.
The Easy Board Heavy.
What about the Easy ABL Heavy instead of the Pro?
I like that.
It's made out of cast iron.
Do aluminum PCBs for everything.
Hang on, I gotta go refill my water cup. You guys behave yourselves. But yeah, if you have an SKR board, people are seeing these weird issues with the latest Marlin. I'm not though. I'll even run some test prints on the CR10V2 as well, because this has 2072 on it right now. So if it's a firmware issue, it should be present on all of the printers. So, yeah, I'll be right back. I need to get water.
Go get your water, Tim.
You should be drinking beer, Tim. What are you doing?
I mean, I ran out of Diet Coke, so I'm drinking Captain Morgan and Dr. Pepper, which is my wife's. So
how is that? I can't imagine it's too bad, honestly.
I heard what you said, Griffin, and I also wanted to make Tyler jealous.
There we go. See,
I have 2 of those left in my house right now, but I cannot consume them because they're hard to come by, especially in Alaska.
I can go get them anytime I want.
I know you can. I was at your house once.
Yeah, and you guys left. We're all hanging out, and you guys just dipped out.
Yeah,
to get
I
more
bought
alcohol,
like
and
2 cases of that shit.
I was like, where'd the guys go? Because I already spent like $150 for entertaining everybody when they were here, and bought like cases of beer and shit. And this guy goes, he's like, well, where'd Tyler go? Like, oh, I think it was you and Cody.
Yep, me and Cody.
They're like, they went to go get alcohol. I was like, I just bought like $150 worth of alcohol. How much are they planning on drinking this weekend?
Like, no, you don't see it. I went to go buy. I probably bought 2.5 cases of zombie dust and brought it back down to Virginia with me. Like, I bought it to bring down with me to Virginia to drink.
Tim, it's a business expense. You gotta.
Well, that was actually a business expense because you're entertaining guests. So I moved my humidor into the house because it gets too cold out here. Because to save energy, I don't run the heat unless like the sensor detects that there's someone in here. So it was getting too cold, so it's in the house. So I have to walk all the way in the house to get another cigar.
So speaking of,
I might just switch back to the douche flute.
And business expenses, you should ask Griffin about breaking my Ender 3 during Earth last year.
I don't even remember what happened.
The X-axis wouldn't even fucking work. Like,
wasn't there like a bad line on it? Didn't we like switch out the board like 3 times or something like that?
Yeah. So Tim brought the easy board and I put it in, and it worked. Like Aaron and who was it? Doug, Aaron, and Cody and I were in the same room. I was replacing the easy board in the room, like in the room of this fucking
hotel,
like Quality Inn or something. I'm replacing the board.
Wait! Are you digging up the hotel we booked? Because I thought it was a decent hotel.
It was a legit hotel. I will give you that.
Okay.
But it wasn't a Holiday Inn.
Trying to make it sound like I'm fucking being a cheap ass over here.
But it wasn't a cheap ass. It was a good hotel. So I replaced the board. We upload the firmware. Everything fucking works. It prints. Then I bring it to Earth, and Griffin breaks it.
That I am very talented at breaking electronics. Now I treat my stuff really well, but I literally like.
Do you though?
Just get the most DOA stuff ever.
Do you really though?
I mean, that's why I designed my own hardware, so I have no one else to blame.
So Griffin, I got an actual interesting thing, and I got a board coming back. So this guy, he's put two of the easy boards in, and for some reason the voltage regulators keep going out on them. And he can't find anything on the printer that's wrong. I'm exchanging it. I don't know if he just got unlucky, but it's definitely like the 5-volt regulator because it works over USB. And I was like, I've honestly not seen someone get something back to back like that. So like, if it happens again, then yeah, there's something weird going on with the printer. The only thing I could think of that could possibly do it that would be printer side would be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Would be like if the PSU is doing some weird shit. Because he does have the off-brand one, like the stock one it comes with.
I mean, I've never heard of issues like that. That could just be a fluke.
Yeah. So I'm just going to send him a completely different one. But I just thought it was weird. I was like, he was like, well, I don't know what to do. I was like, dude, just send it back. Like, we'll take care of it. We're not Big Tree Tech that's going to be like, tough shit, no warranty. Or we'll send you a new one. And then like a month and a half later, you get another one that's fucking DOA.
You should show stream your box of dead boards.
Huh?
You should show the stream your box of dead.
Oh, my box. Now these aside from so Aaron has ones that are yours that are ones that like were had an actual issue, but this is all ones that people have killed over the last 2 months. There's boards underneath these boards.
When you say people,
customers.
Gotcha.
So at one point we were offering, like we still offer a discount to replace it if they do damage it. But we were offering a further discount if they sent in their core, because my plan is to eventually refurbish these. But eventually, like at some point I told Aaron, I was like, yeah, we got a lot and I haven't had time to go through these. So let's stop getting cores in. But yeah, no, people like to send 24 volts into their hot ends, and the boards do not like that. Or 24 volts into their hot end thermistor.
I literally have an easy board in my center console of my truck, And it's
Why?
been there since I got here.
Why?
Do you remember like 3 months ago when I sold off like a quarter of my stock to the random guy in Virginia and he messaged the support and Tor took care of him?
Vaguely?
Yeah, so I sold
Because you moved when you were going up to Alaska.
Yeah. So like back in July, I probably sold like 7, maybe 6 printers to this guy in Virginia. Like he filed a complaint or something on the CR10 group. And obviously since like, we admin it, I get the thing, I'm like, oh hey, this guy's actually making a good point. Like, hey, he's from like, 15 minutes from me. So I start messaging him back and forth. He's like, yeah, I'm looking for Ender 3s and CR10s. I'm like, I'm leaving Virginia in like a month, and I'm trying to get rid of shit so we don't have to move it. And he bought all of it. Literally everything I was selling, he bought.
That's the best way
that
to
worked
do it.
out.
Yes, it worked out great for me. And then he messaged TH3D support, and Tor messaged me. He's like, hey, who's this guy? Oh, this is this guy. Yeah, just tell him this stuff, and apparently never messaged again. So everything worked out.
So I just sliced a bench. And wait, upload fail. Wait, handle is bad. Cannot open device COM14. Well, S3D is not connected to it, so.
Change COM ports.
So no, I don't think so. It's the same thing. It should grab the same one. Because I'm just gonna run some test prints on here and back to back. Actually, I'm gonna not do a bench. I'm gonna do something shorter to just see if I can replicate that offset.
How about the TH3 CaliCube? And if you don't have it, I will send it to you again.
Nope, I have it. It's in our print farm tests folder. We are somewhat organized here, okay?
I got drunk one night and designed CaliCube. I did you. I did Cody.
Oh, you did me?
Yeah, I did you. I did.
Don't let the military know.
Engineering.
Or is that cool now though?
Yes, it's cool.
Oh,
we're cool. I also did.
By the way, I just want to put someone's talking about. I do not recommend you buy Simplify 3D anymore. The only reason I haven't switched yet is because to switch over to a different slicer is a shit ton of work for us. I will not be supporting their shit anymore.
I also did a CaliCube Vision Miner, and Rob was like, dude, what the fuck? You actually did this? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like,
yeah.
I just changed it out. He's like, dude, this is awesome. We're going to fucking use this for everything. And I haven't seen anything for him since. Rob's a cool dude, though. Vision Miner is amazing.
I got to keep it away from my vape stuff. So it's all the way over here. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
Vision Miner, do they make filament?
They sell like high-end shit.
Hold on, Vision Miner.
Griffin, once all this craziness calms down, you need to come up here and we need to hang out and have a cigar.
Vision Miner, you ready?
100%.
This is all Vision Miner.
Do you want me to go grab my box out of the shop, the inventory stuff?
What the heck? What is it? Like filament samples? What am I looking at?
It's adhesive for the bed.
Oh my god, send me some. That looks cool.
All these are like
Griffin, we sell it.
This is a 10 milliliter sample.
Literally carry it in
employee discount
all
happening right now.
I mean, I can give you an employee discount since you do work for us. So there. So you literally just fucking put on the bed, and then there's a brush, but I don't know where my brush is, so I usually just grab like a
that brush is garbage. Use a foam brush.
Well, I usually just take a paper towel and just.
That works too.
Honestly, the only thing like that I can't get.
I hate these stock beds.
They're terrible.
This printer literally was used for the stream, and it's been sitting in my garage since whatever the stream was when I unboxed this. This printer has been sitting. So, but just that little coating will keep shit on the bed, and I don't have to worry about it coming off, even on this surface.
Brady said VM is awesome. Yes, Vision Miner is the fucking way, the truth, and the life.
I don't know how I haven't heard of it.
It is seriously amazing.
What else do they sell?
Like high-end,
they sell like $10,000 plus machines. Like they're
the Fun Mat HT and all kinds of other shit. But like
they deal with a lot of like commercial high.
Oh, I see this. Yeah, like polycarb.
So this stuff was originally
polycarb is like the shit they sell. I'm talking like CF Peak.
I can see that.
Yes.
So this stuff was made for those higher end materials, and they then found out that it works great on all materials, so they started marketing it for all materials. I love it. I love the shit. Like that's why we started selling it. I kept buying it, and I was like, we just need to sell this, like, because I love this stuff. So
Tim,
do you have to like clean it off a lot?
No, absolutely.
No, I mean I'll get like this application will be good for like 20 prints is usually what I get out of it. So and then all you do is just wipe it down with IPA and put a new application on it. It's alcohol based, so it evaporates.
Is that the ultra base finish on that Creality thing, or is that the smooth?
That's the ultra base that came with it. I hate it.
So,
I'm not a fan of the ultra base shit.
But for Griffin, like that ultra base, I flip that over for my Creality prints. Like I have the Endra 3 ultra base. I flipped it over, and with nanopolymer, I can literally print like 20 ABS prints.
Oh, hey, I will give a shout out to anybody watching. I have a bunch of B stock flex plates, a lot of 235 sizes in textured and smooth, and a bunch of other random sizes in textured and smooth. And what B stock means is they're cosmetic blemished products. Like it could be most of them are like tiny little scratches, or like there's like a little speck of dirt that got under the PEI film when it was being applied, but otherwise 100% functional, and they're half the price of whatever our retail price is. So if you guys are interested in getting any cheap Easy Flex plates, I don't have any B stock magnets, but like they're plates that like they got banged up in shipping and caused like cosmetic blemishes. So I have a ton of them. So if you guys are interested, you can email streams@th3dstudio.com and let me know the plate size and the quantity. And the more quantity you get, the better pricing I can do on top of the already discounted price. So, but understand, like they might have cosmetic defects. Most of them, I mean, I'll grab one right now to show you. It's all cosmetic shit. So,
speaking of that, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pee and go get a new drink.
All right, so like here's some of the 235s that are in the B stock. Like we've got like this plate right here is B stock because of that right there, that little scratch. Otherwise, it's good. This one here, right here, you see there's a little scuff right here. People complain about this, so we have to B stock them. Because if I send a plate out like this to someone, they complain about it. But so, like, this is the kind of stuff it is. Like, this one still has the film on it. Let's see. Why is this one B stock? Why is this one B stock?
One more for the good inventory.
I mean, there's a little thing right here. So, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff. Like it's like blemishes and shit. So, if you're interested, I think I have two. I have magnets, but I think I have like two 235 magnets. I don't have any other size magnets that are B stock.
There you go, then.
I have three. I have three right here. I think I'm going to steal one of these though for my test machine. Actually, I'm steal one of these. One of these for my test machine. Here, man. Get rid of that Creality magnet. Oh God. Oh, this is good. But yeah, so I've got two here. Like you see there. That's why this is B stock. That blemish right there. Because people are that picky about this shit. So
I wouldn't even care with a magnet.
That's
literally doesn't even affect anything.
I know it doesn't affect anything. But this right there, people complain about this, so we have to set them aside. And the thing is, I have enough of them now where I need to I need to get rid of them because there's a ton of them. So basically, I'll sell a couple, one or two if you want, but if you want to get a bunch of them, I got a bunch of 235s. So but yeah, people are very picky and weird about this shit sometimes. I'm setting my offset right now. Just eyeballing it. I'll get to my skirt. Get some squish down on that. There we go. All right, so negative 1.725. Let me store that offset.
Oh my gosh, look at Rain, that's so true. I had an argument with someone on the Big Tree Tech forum because their fuse was like 30 degrees off or something like that. And they're like, well, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think I have to go through some of these because I did find some plates that should have been just put into inventory. I don't know if they accidentally got put in there, but I'm posting in chat right there. The email streamed. Just be very specific what you want, the size. Don't be like, what do you have? Just tell me what you're looking for, and I'll let you know if I have it. But I got some 310 by 310s, 310 by 320s. I even got some S4 and S5 plate sizes too. And if you don't already have a magnet, we have obviously new magnets. But yeah, some people are insanely picky about it, and it's just I don't know if it's just I feel like sometimes with some of the really tiny small blemishes, they're never going to be 100% perfect. It's just with any product, But some people I think are just looking to get shit discounted or for free because they're complaining. But
B-Stock's worth that.
Yeah, Tyler Tar's a big fan of B-Stock.
I mean, I sent a lot of my B-Stock to God, what's his name?
Cody?
Russian Spy.
Oh, Ray?
Ray, yes.
Oh, yeah,
Ray is the king of B-Stock.
Ray
should have Ray
Ray is such a cheap ass.
God, let me mess with Ray.
There we
Hold on,
go.
I'll send Ray the link, see if he'll jump on.
I'm going to send it to him too.
He's also, I don't know if he's on, I feel like he doesn't check Telegram.
Sorry, say that again?
I feel like he doesn't, oh, you're not on Telegram, are you?
I know.
He's not. That's why I literally sent him this.
All the cool kids are on Telegram, okay?
I literally don't have time for social media stuff.
It's not social media, it's just a chat client. That's why you should get on it. It has a desktop client and a mobile client. That's what I switched to. So I deleted my Facebook account. I am off Facebook. There's still one that has my name on it just to manage the TH3D pages, but I am no longer participating on Facebook. So if you want to chat with me, if you're wondering, so I'm on MeWe now, which is a Facebook alternative. They don't sell your data. They don't have ads. They support their system by having options to get they sell little stupid sticker packs. If you have a business page, it's $2 a month for the business page. So we signed up for that. And then they also have a premium feature. So they have video and audio calling. And I think you get so many minutes, so many minutes per month or something like that. But if you have the $5 a month one, it's unlimited. So it's they're not running ads. So they have to do something to bring in revenue. And I would much rather, I paid for the premium too, because I'd want to support them. I want to see them succeed because I'm tired of Facebook. I'm tired of their censorship and all this other stuff. I know Ben is on MeWe. I saw Ben pop up in some of the groups on MeWe. We have a 3D printing group that you pay to run the group. So it's $2 a month for a group. So we signed up for a group. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So I got the premium, I got our business page, and I got a 3D printing group with the TH3D logo. cost me like $10 a month for all of that, and that is worth it to not have to deal with Facebook. And I'm noticing like a lot of the people that are on that platform are not as toxic as the people on Facebook. So I'm actually enjoying being on social media again, you know. So, and if
I literally strictly use Facebook for like groups.
Yeah. So, but Griffin, if you like anybody, I don't add everybody on Telegram, but Telegram is what I use to chat. So, but Griffin, you should check out Telegram. I actually get my mom on there, a bunch of other guys. It's a nice chat client. They have group chats. They've got video calls, audio calls. It's all end-to-end encrypted. Like it's nice, and it's open source too. So I'm a big fan of it. They got desktop apps. They've got mobile apps and everything too. So like I like having an app on my computer where I can chat from, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired of Facebook. Like just on principle, regardless of like, you know, who they're censoring, there shouldn't be any censoring going on. Period.
No, Facebook's annoying, but
like if it was
necessary evil for a lot of groups.
Yeah. So, but my thing with Facebook, like, even if the rules, like, we all know, like, what kind of people Facebook's censoring and everything, but even if the rules were flipped, even if it was the other way around, I would still have a problem with it.
Someone said it in here. Yeah, John said, like, Google Plus used to be. Did you ever, I don't even know if you were printing during that time, but were you on the Google Plus group for 3D
No.
printing? That was, like, the best group ever. Because it was well, at least in my eyes, I liked it because it was so technical. Like this was back when like every printer was, you know, 90%
together.
I mean, you know, people were getting their glass cut at Home Depot, and that was the only option.
I mean, if you were on like 3D printing groups during Google Plus time.
Oh, I've been printing for like 7 or 8 years at this point.
Hey Griffin, you've actually been printing longer than I have.
Oh yeah,
I got in 2016.
Yeah, then I got W basically. Yeah, I mean I printed my first printer on like a Cube 2, I think. I printed the pieces out for mine. In fact, I can bring up maybe if I can screen share, maybe I can.
Yeah,
find
you
a
can.
photo of it.
Like I messed with 3D printers, but I never got my own until like 2016. Oh shit! Oh, the Russian spy is here.
Hey, I
He
peer
bet-
pressured him.
Ray said he wasn't going to come on.
He
but
better
now
be
he's
doing
not.
it. He better be doing a Slav squad.
I peer pressured him. He's like, yes, Griffin sent me the link. Like, yes, Griffin sent you the link, but we're peer pressured.
I know he has a webcam.
I'm in bed. I was about to fall asleep.
Oh, come on.
It's only 12:30.
Ray, you're a single guy. You live by yourself. Go put some pants on, or just stay sitting down at your computer desk.
You're on the helicopter right now.
I have
You're,
pants on though. Just for the record, I do have pants on.
I
Although I have gotten up. So, Tyler, I'm printing your cube. Are you happy?
Yes, thank you.
All right, Tim, I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. Let me close out of this. Not good image.
Ray, if you're not gonna go on your computer, you can jump off. It's fine. Tyler
John
can be
Mack.
very persuasive.
John Mack is not wearing pants.
That's where it's at.
Ray, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'll hang out for a few minutes. It's okay.
It's all
He's
good. You
probably-
can just be an observer. Griffin,
He's
you sharing your
probably-
screen? Oh wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Add to stream. There we go.
So that's what my first printer looked like. And the
Oh,
hot
That's a
end.
ramps board. There's a ramps board.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that a real ramps or is that a Chinese ramps?
No, God, no. This was like an $8 ramps. But I remember, I think Ray and I discussed this at one point. But this hot end, you see, I can't remember the name of it, but some dude was just machining them on his like manual lathe. And I mean, it's literally, I think it's 12 watts for the heater.
Can you
So they
zoom?
could do-
Can you zoom that in?
Yeah.
I just made it bigger. Do like a. There should be like a control. Hold down control and scroll.
I tried.
Oh, that's
I'll
weird.
download it and open it up again. There you go. Can you still see it?
Controls
Yeah,
scroll.
you're good.
There you go. So like
Oh man,
this, I mean, you can see like I had to splice multiple wires here. I mean, I didn't have to do that, But this was the auto level, which was a lever and then an end stop. I guess I hadn't mounted it yet. And that was how this thing leveled. So this is called a smart wrap. And literally you can see it used a bearing
I've heard of
here
that
as
one.
leverage. Terrible printer. But like I printed so much stuff on this thing.
What did you print those parts with?
So I printed the green parts with a Cube 2, which was the printer my school had. And you can see it's just like mounted to a piece of wood. But once I printed the green parts, they're literally like 10% infill at best because the filament on that thing was so expensive. It was like $80 for like 250 grams or something like that. Because they were all proprietary. Yeah, Ray knows a thing or two.
You saw me that Cube too, though. Afterwards,
Ray, you should show off. You should show off your little cube.
Cube too, yes.
You should show off. You should show off your little cube, Ray.
it's on a shelf. I still don't have any working printers here.
What? It's like an ongoing joke that Ray never has working printers, but it's
not a joke.
We have one i3 at the office that just prints camera mounts all day. And my data list is supposed to be shipped. So
my data list is at Project R3D right now, getting upgrades to bring it up to like the retail versions because we had a beta one. And I haven't seen Joe in a while. He's been busy. So
those things are so cool looking.
Yeah, they're very well built. Like you would have an engineering boner over that one.
Oh yeah, I was talking with Ray about it like a week or two ago. They're pretty sick. I like the.
This is actually printing really. This I remember. I will say I'm surprised the CR10 V2 is not a more popular machine because it checks a lot of the boxes and it's actually a pretty well built machine. I do like the V2s.
I had an Ender 3 V2 and sold it. I like their V1 stuff better. That's more tinkerable.
Yeah, the V2 so here's the thing. If you swap the LCD on the V2 to the standard 128/64, you can literally flash it like an Ender 3. Like with our firmware and stuff. So like even with the 422 board. Because I had a lady that like she's really smart and she picked up an EasyBoard. She had Ender 3 V2 and she was just like hating it. And she was asking about the EasyBoard. I was like, well, technically the EasyBoard will fit in there, but I don't have the screen worked out, and like you're not going to have access to all the features on the board. And she was like, well, what if I swap the screen? I was like, well, yeah, if you get an Ender 3 screen and swap it out, then yeah, just you're good to go.
Well, that's the nice thing about it is it's got better hardware. Like I think it's got Gates belts on there and
it does.
Actual tensioners and stuff.
And the thing I don't like about the CR6 SE, because people are like, well, is the EasyBoard going to work with the CR6 SE? Well, the CR6 SE uses proprietary ribbon cables to connect like the hot end and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have to make an adapter board, and it won't fit. It's like the CR10 V2 has a new board design from Creality. Why they didn't use the same one, I don't know. They should have. Like, I don't understand why. Like, so like the CR10S Pro, the CR10S Max, the CR10 V2. The CR6, those are all printers that could have used their existing boards. So they could have been upgradable with like our board, with Big Tree Tech's boards, like with all the other boards that support that Creality form factor on the market. But they, for some reason, chose to design individual boards for each of these machines. Yeah, I have no idea why.
They have a weird desire to increase their BOM as much as possible.
Like why? Like if I was running a printer company, I would use the same board in everything. Maybe I have two variants. Maybe I have one with the cheaper drivers and one with Trinamics, and that's it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, though, like cheaper drivers are literally not even worth it anymore.
Yeah, that's
what I'm fairly affordable now. Back when you had to solder them by hand and all that stuff.
Well, you got to remember that, like, these Chinese companies will cut costs to save like 30 cents. Like look at the Big Tree Tech SKRE3s. They could put a 512K chip on there, but it would literally cost them 30 cents more a board, and they're more concerned about saving that 30 cents.
That's their entire profit margin.
That's true. I don't understand how they're making anything on their boards, but I guess
when you use the
government subsidizing.
Yeah, it's either got to be subsidizing or they're using like Shenzhen market special parts.
Well, I know they're doing that.
I don't know they're doing that, but you know more. You know more about the components than I do.
I
You
mean,
know,
I have
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again. I mean, are they? You know, like the whole thing with their MOSFETs. If what's they said is to, you know, if what their supplier said is true, you know, they're literally using a MOSFET supplier that made the design and then licensed out that design to other factories, and the factories just make them as cheap as.
Well,
they can.
I mean, that's not super uncommon for certain parts, but you know, you gotta.
But usually
when
they
you
don't
choose
look-
parts. You have to make sure that who's making them is actually making them the same way. And that's
So,
where
but-
the lower end manufacturers run into issues.
So, but would you agree that usually when that happens, the package looks the same on all
It
of them?
should be the exact same. Like
But
every,
it's
the
not.
die,
That's
every,
That's what a lot of
That's
people
what's
don't
weird, so.
realize. What led me to be like, oh, these look like these are fakes. You know, is that, you know, I got the ones from LCSC with the same part number, and they look completely different from the ones that Big Tree Tech was using. So it's like, usually when it comes to chips, if you buy components from a reputable supplier, and the components on a board look completely different from the ones you got from a known reputable supplier, chances are that it's a knockoff. You know,
Well,
that's where that.
The biggest issue is that parts change from batch to batch too much, and I think that's where like you're seeing weird. When you
The
change
yields are
parts that
completely the yields are
quickly,
different.
like you can't figure out what's actually wrong. Is it like a batch or is it like a design flaw? And that's where I think they're having the biggest issue, because
Or
I'll
is it-
see like, you know, slightly different components, and you know, some stuff doesn't matter, like a resistor or whatever, you know.
Well,
not a
my whole
huge
thing
deal,
is too,
but-
like with the like their end stops. I wonder what tolerances they're using on the resistors and stuff, because there's like just weird oddities with their boards where stuff is not triggering correctly. Like I have the SKR E3 1, 1.2, and 2.0, and I've tested our old Easy ABLs on it and our new ones, and they all work. Well, I had a guy that he said his stuff wasn't triggering consistently until he switched it over to using the unfiltered I/O pin that's normally used for the BL Touch.
It's weird.
So, you know, what that tells me is like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Griffin, but like what my logical thought process is, okay, if I'm not having issues, but you have one that's probably from a completely different batch, maybe your resistors are just more out of tolerance than mine.
Well,
And
yeah,
so-
and that's what I'm getting at is, you know, when at least when I design stuff, and I know Ray does the same thing, I pick like a certain bomb line item and I say stick with this. Like, do not deviate from this part. If you need to deviate from this part, you need to approve it with me first.
You asterisk the
And-
part number, and you're like, if you touch this,
Yeah, I could show a bomb and it literally reads like all caps, do not change this part for anything else. Like no substitution whatsoever.
yep.
Yeah,
So-
well, because a lot of the board assemblers, and it's not just China, even in the U.S., like they will substitute a part. They're like, well, this part number is more expensive, but we have one that's similar. It's
Mhm.
like, no, we specified this part number because we know this part number performs exactly how we want it to perform.
Right.
Because when you
then-
start
yeah.
substituting stuff, like, oh, well, we have this, like, this is the voltage regulator we specified. Well, we got one that's half the price. That's a, you know, a generic or knockoff or clone or whatever. You know, that's the thing. You know,
Tim, I don't doubt you. Like for China, absolutely. But when I was quoting boards in America, every single place I talked to wanted an exact DigiKey or Mouser part number for every single part in my BOM. They were literally going to, if I wanted full turnkey, they were literally going to buy those parts from DigiKey or Mouser. And
right.
Well, that's
there
how
was
like
no
even
Well, we
remote
buy a
consideration.
lot of parts. You know, we buy a lot of parts from DigiKey Mouser and ship them to the assembler. Like that's the kind of stuff that Griffin handles.
Ray and I
Right.
buy parts together sometimes. So yes, definitely.
Oh, it's so adorable. You guys are chip buddies.
But what I'm saying is, in
You guys
America,
touch chips?
assemblers, I never once heard about, you know what I'm saying, about even remotely substituting anything.
Well, but that's a difference of quality. I mean, I've gotten quotes for stuff in the U.S. You know, you're talking like double the price to get it made here.
Oh, at
So,
least. But yeah, that's
Make it in the
real-
U.S. That's a fair assumption.
yeah.
I mean, I would love,
it's
I would
fine. Like,
love,
you know,
I would
some things
love to
really
make
need
everything in the. I would love to make everything in the U.S., but like everything's so cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
Like, and it's only going to get worse. Like, I don't want to get like political, but like with all this like, green shit happening, like that's all just adding to cost, and the reason why, China can do it for cheaper is they don't have all these same environmental restrictions and all this other stuff, and like even just basic stuff like, having insurance in case one of your products you made burns someone's house down, like they don't have those overhead expenses, and I've talked to a lot of our, like some of our suppliers and stuff that are over in China, and their factory workers are making $1 to $3 an hour. Like, how the hell am I supposed to compete with that? You know what I mean?
Make stuff in-house is pretty much the only way.
You need family because there's a child labor exemption when it's a family member just for just about everything.
Yeah, well, that's why I mean, maybe that's what Tyler's plan is. He's gonna launch a business in about 5-6 years with all his kids. All right, so let's see if this has the offset issue. So if this bug affects all boards on 2072, then if I restart this print, it should be too high because I know this sensor is reading good because the M48 test comes back excellent. So let me go and restart the print from SD, and I'm going to restart this print. This came out pretty damn good. This came out really damn good, actually. Here.
That's the
Tyler.
BB2.
Here you go, Tyler. Yes, Serotonin.
Yeah,
This is stock aside from the firmware, and I added EasyAVL. This is a complete stock machine aside from I added our auto bed leveling and our firmware. That's it.
What did you say it was? CR10? Which model?
CR10 V2.
V2. Got it.
So there's some ghosting, but it's acceptable. This is sliced at 60, but like this printer works well. So, and this one's going to go once I'm done playing with it. So the reason why this is sitting here is I'm going to be making a new installation video for the EasyAVL, which is why this is not cable managed right now. Showing how to install it just as an updated one, as an overall installation guide. So that's also why it's in here, but I wanted to get this firmware all squared away. And like, I can't tell you, I just threw out a bunch of them, but I had probably about 150 benchies in here just from me testing firmware. Like, I take it pretty seriously.
The hidden secrets of the TH3D unified firmware development.
I didn't enable super fast probing when I updated the firmware. This is only going to 8 millimeters a second instead of 15. Still faster than a BL Touch.
We can accept that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new?
These can go a lot faster.
Tim, have you seen the new Voron homing?
I stopped looking at the Vorons when I joined their Discord server, and a bunch of people got pissed off because there were people asking if there was someone that can print ABS parts. I was like, yeah, I have a whole farm, and they're like, you can't make any money off of printing parts. I was like, okay, I'm out of here, neckbeards. I'm
Voron
done.
owners hate their wallets.
They do. They really.
Oh my gosh, yes. The cheapest
All
quote
right.
I've seen is like $1,000.
Let's see if this bug affects all boards and not just SKRs. The Z offset should be fucked up and it shouldn't print correctly. So we'll see. I'm just preemptively zooming on where it's going to be printing.
Make sure that you live adjust because that's what happens.
Well, I'm not. I shouldn't have to live adjust.
No,
look at that.
Make sure you live adjust.
No, look at.
No, it's not right. It's too high. It's too high. Go down.
It's not too high. It's fucking fine.
Voron slander. I was just saying the new Voron, it has a Core XZ, I think. Yeah, it's a Core XZ, but the homing process is so fast. It's like, it's incredible.
I mean, it might be a touch too low, but I also had it a touch too low when I set it. I like to run it a little bit lower on these glass ones because otherwise shit starts coming off.
The switch wire is silly. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yes.
I don't know if it's worth the money or not. I just think it's really interesting to watch.
Can you explain what that thing is? Because I saw it on AliExpress and I figured it was like.
What are you talking about?
Technology or something.
What are you talking about?
The switch wire. What is it?
That's new Voron. It's Core XZ. So
is that
what the hell is
name
that?
of the machine?
Yeah, it literally, it is. It
Oh.
literally basically takes a core XY and rotates it. So it's using the two motors to run X and Z instead of X and Y.
Yeah,
But that means you can do like insanely fast Z hops and everything. So it's kind of cool. It's very interesting to watch.
I saw some
But-
part on AliExpress with that name, and I thought that the switch wire was like the name of a new fast heated bed or something.
Probably. I mean, it's AliExpress. Everything's got it.
Well, no, it had Voron in the name too.
Oh,
So
weird.
it was some
So-
random part for that machine.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cancel this and see if it's still at the same height.
Yes, please. I'm getting yelled at, so I have to go
Stop
do my
print.
thing. But I want to see this first.
Stop print. Okay, I just told it to stop print. I'm gonna leave it zoomed out or zoomed in just because I'm gonna start it up again. Hang on, let me disable stuffers. Clean off the bed. I'm printing with some coax pink right now. I've been having too many issues with Chinese brands of filament, cracking and stuff. I think, and Aaron and I were talking about this, and I don't know what his sources are, but he thinks that the thing is that a lot of these Chinese companies are thinning out their mixtures with hips, and hips, when it absorbs moisture, likes to crack, which would make sense because I've been seeing a lot of like we had a bulk of filament from a guy. He's in the U.S., but he has film that's made over in China. And normally we had no issues with it, but this last batch, the ABS and the PLA, like just starts cracking when it's on the printer, and it's been causing a lot of luckily we have filament sensors on the printers, but sometimes it cracks after the filament sensor. And I was like, we don't have this problem at all with any of the U.S. Filament manufacturers.
That straight up used to be a thing. The ABS and hips blend. Whether intentional.
It's not even ABS; it's even the PLA. The ABS.
I know, well,
and
that's
the PLA
scary, but I'm saying they used to do that
Yeah.
with ABS.
Well, that was because I think that helped the ABS not crack and warp. I think that was actually a design characteristic.
Whether it was intentional or not is a different question. It was both. There was ABS hips blends, and then there was people cheaping it out.
I find it funny hearing people complain about filament now, because back I guess when I started in a year or so after following, we'd literally find ball bearings or bearing balls, I guess is the right way to say it.
in the filament.
Ordering filament.
Yeah, the filament was just trash.
Yeah.
The worst filament you can buy now is it was $40 a roll back then, because it was so good. I guess.
I mean, I've been sticking with coax. We're going to continue to stick with coax. They're based out of Wisconsin, and it costs us $4 a roll extra versus the Chinese shit. And that $4 a roll is worth my peace of mind.
Yep.
Oh hell yeah!
So I'm hoping I
find.
find this bug present in here, because then I can do a compare of the code from, what did this guy say? Oh, wife is calling me.
I'm also calling. I'm hopping off, but Auto Drop 3D is here now.
Oh, is he?
Yes,
I don't see it. I don't see him.
Just wait.
He's in chat.
Just wait.
Well, you don't have the. Did you send him the link? If not,
He's not in the chat that I.
Yeah, he's in YouTube.
Hang on, I'm sending him a link right now.
All right, he'll take my place. I'm gonna hop off here.
Oh no.
Ray Griffin.
Okay,
Tim,
so
good
so
night.
here's the thing.
See you, Tyler.
It is close, but I think it's just as close as it was before. So I'm gonna step it up to where I think it should be. Because I did adjust my offset on the fly last time, which is not usually how you do it. But let me see here.
That's definitely how I do it.
I usually adjust it on the fly, but it's not usually what you're supposed to do.
Coax.
All right, so let me see. So mine just went from 1.75 to 1.50. The joys of troubleshooting. Fucking printing firmware.
Their filament's not even that expensive.
What are you talking about?
Coax.
No, their stuff's not. I think it's $24 a roll, and it's made in the U.S.
So back in 2014, that's when we had the last version of the wooden laser cut PrinterBot Plus.
Yeah.
And
Hey, don't let anybody on this stream.
Yeah. Oh god, I moved my
this
thing.
guy. And then I bought $25 PLA from Monoprice, 2 rolls of white, and yep, there were ball bearings in there. And we were wondering why we weren't getting extrusion after a while, and there was literally a ball in the nozzle tip of the Ubis hot end. And after 3 times of removing the nozzle, the entire hot end broke on us.
How long ago was this?
So that was 2014.
Oh, holy cow. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we were just
Griffin was
saying
talking about
filament has improved.
They're
We're all
reminiscing
getting
about
started.
the filament of old.
You
Man.
kids now don't understand the struggles we went through.
You know, I started with an ANET A8 and these kids start with Ender 3s have no idea how easy they have it.
I had a Folger Tech. They had a Folger Tech i3.
Will you guys be here if I dip out for a sec?
Yeah,
The wife is going to bed. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I got this Folger Tech i3 clone. It's from those guys up in like New Hampshire or something. And the beginning of the Word document instruction manual that was uploaded to Dropbox that you had to go and like track down to build it. The beginning of it said, we gave these instructions to one of the office girls, and she was able to build the printer, so you shouldn't have any trouble. And it's like, how can you be so condescending to your users and sexist in the same sentence?
I remember building one of those. It was like the metal frame i3, the extrusion one.
Yeah, it was a solid printer, but
the instructions I remember were literal garbage, though. Like,
I built it backwards for like parts of it, and then I had to like go take it apart.
We literally did the same thing.
That
must have been like 2015 or 2014 or something like that too, because they were really big actually. That was like one of the top selling printers at the time, because nothing was like, established like Creality or anything now.
Well, my father gave me it for a Christmas present. He was like, "Oh, I got one of these. And here, have fun." So I put it together, and I was printing ABS because that's what everybody was printing at the time. And anybody who starts out with PLA now, they have it so easy because ABS sucks.
Gotta put like the plastic shell over your printer.
Yeah, just a turkey bag.
Put a cardboard box over it.
Yeah, nice fire starter.
Okay, so after addressing the Z offset, and this printer's gone through a couple heat cycles now, I don't see it changing. Like, I'm gonna stop it one more time.
Did you power cycle?
Should I power
You should
cycle?
always try turning it off and back on again.
I would power cycle it.
Okay.
But Tim, what's funny is I remember watching a video of yours because I was trying to do like 2 in, 1 out.
On the ANET?
I watched your video on the ANET, and I'm like, how in the hell did this dude get this to work so well? Because at the time, everyone was like, this just jams. And I'm sure Ray remembers this too, but like,
I had it
people were
working
doing like
jam.
purge, like special purge scripts just to get it to like extract the filament perfectly.
I was also using S3D, and the one thing S3D does do well is dual extrusion.
S3
I will say S3 is amazing for dual extrusion.
So it was more of the extraction that was the issue than anything. Because I remember Brooke Drum from PrinterBot was really into it.
I still have hang on, I still have that profile. I still have that same one from that
that's like an archaic video. It's like
hang on. All right, so I just power cycled it, and I did store EEPROM after setting my stuff here. Okay, so here's my AM8 dual.
Yep.
So here's my tool change script here.
I'm gonna link that video.
Yeah, I'll pull it up in a sec so I can share it if everybody wants to see it. This was like before I never had plans of starting a company, for the record. It just kind of happened. But like, so the reason there's all these like weird, crappy cell phone videos on the TH3 channel is because this was my personal 3D printing. It was just like a channel I uploaded videos to. It wasn't even 3D printing. But you can see here, so I've got the tool change, retract 5, push 2, and then retract 150 millimeters fast. So that got it past the splitter. Yeah, move to the next printing location and then prime. And I think that's all I had. That's all it was this. And then
Yeah, you got lucky. I mean, people were literally like,
this is all I used.
Calculating the back pressure in the nozzle and all that stuff. I'm like, I don't want to be part of this. If it's gonna jam that quickly or that
No,
easily.
it took me about 4 days, and then it just ran. Like I still have a print right here that I did on it. Here. It was with it's with orange and clear PLA.
Yeah. Must have been like a 20-hour print too.
No, this is only like 4 hours.
Oh really?
Yeah. You can see the different colors on the bottom here. But yeah, this is on my AM8. This is when it still had an acrylic frame.
Yeah.
So I spent about 3 or 4 months doing my own version of, so Prusa came out with the MMU1. And then I spent 3 to 4 months trying to do my own. Eventually somebody released a plan for a quad Y-splitter. And I will tell you, Simplified 3D was, and quite possibly still is, broken for 4 extruders. Because the purge block...
Okay, I power cycle this. It looks fine. It's fine.
The purge block would only ever do 2 colors properly. So you have 4 extruders, but you're only ever purging the first 2. Thank you. So that's why Purge Block and Simplify 3D never worked, which meant we just had to, go to the side and have a little bucket and just bleed out there.
So JC in the chat is asking, is that CR10V2 a direct drive? It's not, but I do have their direct drive upgrade kit for it right here, even complete with the Chinese tape. So just so you guys know, the only difference between the CR10 V2 and the V3 is the V3 is the V2 with this pre-installed. That's it. Which is also something I bought this because I wanted to account for this in the firmware, so I will have to actually put this on here. So this will be getting.
There it is again.
That's you. That's a smoke
lighting something
detector.
on fire.
Yeah, that's a smoke detector. That sounds like it's in his thing. It's probably malfunctioning. We had a bunch of first alert detectors in our house, and I bought all new ones when we moved in because the ones that were in here were like 13 years old. And after about 6 or 7 months, even though we cleaned them every month, they would go off randomly at 4 o'clock in the morning, which I don't know if you ever had that happen to you, but it's terrifying to think that your house is on fire at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, at the apartment here, it's just a monthly occurrence where the fire alarm goes off, and it is unbearably loud.
Yeah, Mika's saying low battery, though. Low battery is usually just a quick chirp.
Yeah, I used to have low batteries in all of my smoke detectors in my early YouTube videos, and people would constantly comment on it because they'd be like, change your batteries.
How's everything going over there by you, man?
Oh, it is going. I am having a lot of fun working on belt slicing stuff.
Oh, trying to gear up for like the Creality, the CR30?
Yeah, the CR30, the iFactory 3D. There's a couple other ones which I think are going to be doing Kickstarter soon too, riding that whole wave. So we just paid a whole bunch. Not a whole bunch, but we paid some money to get the black belt slicer, all of the plugins for it that were done in the GUI side of Cura ported to the command line. So we have it working. I just got to get some printers to test with. So
hey Griffin, you're gonna be sad, but I deleted those old ANET videos from the channel because I kept having people commenting on them asking for help, and I just deleted them. And I thought I downloaded them, but
Jim, no, that was like
Why wouldn't you just disable comments on those videos?
I don't know,
We'll find
because
a way.
they were so half-assed. Like,
Well, depending on the size of the ass, that could be.
Homer sized.
hang on, let me check my camera roll, because that would have been from like 2017, and I might have the videos still of it. That like was what I uploaded to YouTube. It would have been like in my camera upload folder. So let me see that. .mp4.
Yeah, to everyone worried about my smoke detector, it's just beeping randomly.
You should probably replace it. That's what ours are.
I mean, I'll just put in a maintenance request. I live in an apartment complex. So.
You're like, not my problem. Oh, here we go. I still have it.
Nostalgia time.
Hang on.
Oh, you should make a compilation video of it.
Wait, is this is one? This is one of them. I don't know if this was it or if it was another. Hang on, I'm trying to find out here. Like, because you remember, Griffin, you remember I like showed it retracting and.
Oh yeah, and, I watched that video probably like 50 times. Like.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Honestly.
There. So let me. Were you just sitting there going, "Wow, how did this guy fucking get it working?"
I was like, "What the fuck did he do that everyone else didn't?" Because like you were probably one of the very few people that got it working.
What was so bad about the ANET 8.8? I mean, I heard that they burned down people's houses and stuff, but
that was the main problem.
that
was enough for most people to not want it. So.
It was just a minor inconvenience.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at it as a positive. It was a pretty cheap fire starter.
I mean, it was good kindling.
Hang on, I'm gonna up. I have to make the size smaller for it to upload here. So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna run it through Handbrake really quick.
Tell them it keeps waking up. Yes, Ben, I will. Maybe I can get some free rent. But probably not.
Yeah, my wife was like, she was like, come to bed. I was like, I'm streaming like right now. But I probably will wrap it up in about 20 minutes or so. But let me convert. This video's converting right now.
Saturday nights for the boys.
Yeah, I was just watching the Alien stream. He's doing some kind of a thing for charity.
Oh, interesting.
24-hour things. And I think they're playing really bad Dungeons and Dragons right now.
Oh, dear God. If you guys want fun, we should do like, you ever play like the Jackbox games?
Oh, yeah.
Those are a lot of fun. All right, let's see if I made this file small. If StreamYard has a limit of 100 meg per video. Oh, we got it down to 16. That'll do.
Tim, I don't know if you did you ever share your little practical joke with what is that company, ANET from Murph?
Oh, I have the video. I definitely have that video where I gave ANET a fire extinguisher at Murph.
Yeah.
Last year.
Oh no.
The CEO of ANET was there. And he saw it and was like freaking out and like telling Al from 3dpc.tech or whatever, like put it underneath so no one sees it.
Oh my. That's a great funny thing.
That Walmart sold out of fire extinguishers that weekend.
Okay, here we go. Ready, Griffin? Ready for some nostalgia? So this is from March 14th of 2017. So here we go. I'm running my printer directly off of my USB just because I've been updating firmware, but I'm running off of Simplify 3D. So you can see here I got the two hot ends. There's not actually two hot ends, there's just one. And there's a Y adapter. And we're going to be doing a color change in a second here. So what it's going to do is it's going to retract 150 millimeters of filament on the one it's actively printing, which I believe is this one. Yeah, so it's going to pull this up and then push this one down and then prime it in the corner there. So we're printing orange right now. And like I said, I'm just guessing, but it should be swapping colors in a sec here. It's finishing up the orange. And it's going to swap over to the purple, so. Sorry to keep you waiting a whole 30 seconds. There it goes. And we swap colors. Now it's going to prime it to flush the old color out. Now it's purple. Look at that. Now it's feeding from this one.
Hey, did you ever do anything with like water soluble filament for supports or anything like that?
I have some here, but I haven't used it in a while because I don't really have anything that warrants it. But I have it on hand in case I need it. I have PVA for doing stuff with PLA because that's water soluble, and I also have HIPS for doing ABS with support material, which you dissolve with. I think limonene is what you would dissolve it with.
Yep.
How well does that stuff work? I mean,
it works.
Well.
You put it like I usually would put it in a bucket with like a pump to circulate the water, and then it would just dissolve away.
Yeah, if you can agitate it, it's because we have Ultimaker 3s where I go to school, and I ran some PVA on those, and it's so clean, like the support structure underneath. It literally looks like it looks like a perfect flat layer on the bottom. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have any. I've got a lot of videos and stuff from when I was like.
You need to re-upload that one. I literally probably could have quoted that video at one point. Like,
yeah, that's over 3 years old. Like I've been doing dual color for a while.
It's funny.
People still have a hard time doing it. Like,
and then 2 years later, I'd be designing parts for you. That's weird.
Yeah. No, and I had fun fact when I had I was playing with the TMC 2100s when those came out. And fun fact, I went through 2 sets of those drivers because the first time I installed them backwards, and they all went poof.
Great way to spend $30 or $50.
Yeah, it was like
I was
$50.
gonna say those are definitely like $14 a piece or something like that. 13 something. Not cheap.
Yeah.
Especially when they first came out. You could not get that shit cheap.
You couldn't even
so
get
like,
them at one point. Like they were pretty sold out for a while because everyone wanted to try them.
yeah, so like if you notice, I had like Kapton tape on the block. Like I didn't have silicone socks. Like I'm just looking at my, like that printer was all like hodgepodge together. That was when it was in the enclosure, and I didn't even have that still had the acrylic frame.
But that was like the first like really popular printer. And yeah, it predated the Ender 3, but like I mean,
oh, it predated by the Ender 3 by years.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because the Ender 3 is like what, 2 years old now? 2.5 years old?
2017-ish.
man, I was playing.
2017 was the CR10s.
If you guys, I found another video. This is from 2017. Let me, this one can upload. Hang on.
Magic drivers. Yeah, that's the best one.
It's going to be great when that whole patent runs out on the heated enclosures.
Why is that patented?
Yeah, having a heated and built-in envelope is patented by Stratasys right now. Once that patent expires, there's going to be an explosion of the fully enclosed 3D printers with the more exotic materials, I expect.
Yeah.
I wonder how like popular other filaments are really going to get though, because
are you guys ready?
PLA is plenty.
You guys ready for this?
Okay. Interesting.
Just
That was a couple of veggies.
I'm trying to see if I got any other videos that are worth sharing. I've got a video from May where I bought another
heated
ANET.
enclosure patent is actually very interesting. The heated enclosure patent is actually quite interesting. It specifically specifies, I forget if the motors have to be inside or outside the enclosure, but it's the way that everybody's not doing it.
It's probably outside.
because the patent still exists.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you guys look at some of the
Yeah.
older videos
So
on this
everybody has to
channel,
do it different.
if you guys look at some of the older videos on this channel from like, it's like the first few, I think the last one that wasn't like TH3D branded was my TiVo Tarantula review, which for the price, it was a good printer to like modify, but like the fucking Benchy, it, like it, like you can see like how fucking terrible my video quality was too. Let me see here. All right, I gotta open this in the correct browser here. I'm in the TH3D browser.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using Internet Explorer 6 to look at YouTube videos.
Here, so this was the TiVo. This is from July 20th, 2017. Here we go. What's up, everybody? I bet you thought I was dead. Just I've got a new review for you guys. There's a big old box here that I just plopped down. But yeah. Oh wait, here's the old intro. Ready? So stay tuned and enjoy the review.
What was that music?
Inside.
What's that? So, fun fact, I shot all this and then I did a voiceover at work. And like you can kind
Power
of
leads.
like you can hear I'm like trying to be quiet while
There.
listen.
This is the heated bed cable for power and the thermistor. This uses the same style connection that the
This
Huh?
music is something else.
Yeah, so I had
Yeah, what was up with the music? Were you just like watching a lot
Look
of anime or something? Or
I have no idea.
Probably. Yeah.
Like
What it sounds like.
look at this fucking abortion of a Benchy.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Is that the TiVo Tarantula? Yeah.
Yeah,
Wh-
it had no
why?
it had no layer fan.
what?
That's
That
what
is
printers were like.
disgusting.
Are you
Like,
trying
but
to
once you put a
trigger
layer
everybody
fan on
watching?
it, like it was actually pretty good. So
Why would they not include a fan?
But that's even like the what was it? The Trunks X1?
No,
Same
because
thing.
that costs 30
The
cents.
Trunk
That's their entire
CX1 has
profit
a
margin.
fan.
so
No,
like
no, he's
here.
saying it doesn't have a layer fan.
So you can see if you go back. So do you notice how like I've got like a lot of like our thumbnails are all uniform going forward now? Like it's all the same thing. And then you start getting into this. Do you guys remember this ad I made?
I know
I like-
exactly what you're talking
I
about.
paid a guy to make this ad. Hang on. It's hilarious.
Hi there,
We
Frank
should
George
take his
here.
dates.
As a doctor, I know a thing or two about probing. Indeed, I do. I love something that's easy to install, easy to use, and backed by a real support team. And that's why I choose TH3D Easy ABL Kit for my 3D printers. I prefer not to waste countless hours trying to figure out how to connect things to my machine when I could be printing instead. With the TH3D Easy ABL, you get technical support, easy to use firmware, quality parts, amazing accuracy, and there's no moving parts. What are you waiting for? Head over to their site at easyabl.th3dstudio.com and get one today. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy printing. The Easy ABL kit is meant for 3D printer usage only, not for medical or rectal use.
Wait a second. Who did you have do that commercial? Was
I
that
remember
something
this.
off of Fiverr?
He was a guy off of Fiverr.
Didn't you do another one with him?
There was, I don't think I did another Fiverr one,
No,
but I
Griffin,
did
we
like
can't
a
talk about
corny
the other
one. I did a corny one for the Easy Flex that I made. Where the hell is it? It was right here. Stop using scrapers. This one here. How many of you guys have this or this or this or even this lying around your printer? Well, it's time to throw them away
Bye, Felicia.
because we've got the Easy Flex system. that takes all the scraping out of your life. No more cut fingers, no more gouging your bed, and no more wasting time scraping prints off of your printer bed.
Shut up and take my money.
That was my creative genius.
I'm seeing a lot of meme content.
No.
From Tim? Never.
Yeah, so this was the thing I tried to do, the heat
Yeah, of
break.
course not. Have you bet
Do you
the
get
guy?
it? Do you get it? The heat break?
Ever so serious.
Do you get it?
Oh, I
This
did
was
like the heat break. We used to do
Is
that.
that like
Yeah.
water cooler,
Was
like the
that-
3D printer companies?
No, it was like a thing.
It was like a thing. Yes.
But I had. Wait, why is this not showing all of my content here? YouTube. Stop screwing up. There's more. Hang on. It's just not loading. Man, I
You
uploaded
couldn't be
a lot
using
of-
Internet Explorer 6 for YouTube.
I'm using Chrome right now. Why is this not showing?
Internet Explorer 6.
Why is this not showing all of the videos? Hang on.
I mean,
Sort
we all
by.
used computers when IE6 was a thing.
Okay, here we go. So like this one I left up because this one still gets hits. Here, this was my first printer review, which was
All right,
the
everybody.
the
Welcome
console.
back to my channel. I know it's been a while
Oh,
since
well,
I.
I need cubic console, yeah.
Yeah, so you see my S4 down there. So I had the start up here. I had the S4, the CR10, and then my ANET. And then I did I did unboxing. I filmed this with my old Nikon. Or no, maybe I didn't do this with my Nikon. No, this was not my Nikon. This was my C920. But then I did like a full literally it's like the whole thing getting built.
If I remember correctly, this wasn't such a bad printer.
No, it wasn't because I have it actually printing stuff here. I sold this one a while ago. I upgraded to linear rails and all this other shit. It was the only printer I had a BL Touch on because it was the only one that made sense to put a BL Touch on. But I ended up selling it after putting a smoothie board in it, and that was before Marlin supported it. So I got tired of it and I just sold it. I think I sold it for $100 with a Pi and a camera and stuff on it. So whoever got it, they got a lot of just the parts alone were worth it. But that was my first printer I ever did a review on. There's some old videos. Here's the ANET E10. I'm actually wearing where was it? I'm actually wearing
Tim in a Murph shirt before.
this was Hack Juice is actually the e-juice company I used to run, and I sold that off. Oh, there's the Gecko, the Core XY 3D Gecko. The thing was a pile. It was a fucking pile. But yeah, you can see here, this is when we started standardizing the thumbnails here, was 2 years ago. So if you look now, it's all uniform, like a real real YouTuber. So, and then, oh yeah, there was Woody. This is when I built Woody.
Woody's a pretty good printer.
Woody is in my print farm. I use it to run off customer jobs because it actually works well now. So
Printers with character.
yeah, it had a lot of character. Look at this benchy. This also had no layer fan. But you know what? Look at, oh man. Oh
God.
Dude, I still have its benchy right here. I kept it. It's hang on.
That might be the worst benchy I've seen in my life.
No, I've seen worse.
Hang on here. Let me do a solo view
It's
on
so
myself.
rough.
Hang on here. This is the benchy at printed stock.
Oh god.
I didn't know that they were still making printers that didn't have the fan that blew down on the nozzle 2 years ago.
I put a layer fan on it.
Yeah.
I changed it. Had threaded rod instead of lead screws
Hey, my first printer
that
had
were
threaded
connected
rod.
that were connected with aquarium tubing.
Yeah,
It
So
works.
I put actual lead screws on it and put actual couplers on it. Threw a layer fan on it. It's got ABL. It's got a filament sensor now. It's got an ANET knockoff board in it. You know what? And it works. But I have MOSFET on the heated bed. This other cube finished, so I can't. I'm gonna have to keep looking into this, but I'm not seeing this like bug that people are saying they're having with like the SKRs. So, but I mean, like,
are you running an SKR in that one?
No. But what I'm saying is this is 2072 Marlin, which is what people are saying they're having issues on. So
do you think it's board specific then?
I don't know. There's too many. The reason why I don't like doing shit with the SKRs is because of like their choices of parts. There are so many variables to account for as to what could be causing issues on them. You know, like, you know, we joke around about like, oh, you got a Monday board versus a Friday board, you know, like, you know, you could get one that works great, but you could also get one that works really bad. And also, you know, that's the whole thing about having control over your, having control over your actual, like, your BOM and not substituting parts or changing things out at last minute. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing you got to watch out for, because if you're getting stuff that's all over the place and the consistency from batch to batch, from board to board is not consistent, you could have these weird issues that crop up, and they're really hard to troubleshoot.
Well, it's plus the fact that their revisions are pretty quick. Like, especially when the came out, like they had like 2 revisions in like a month.
It really sucks when you have to have different software just because they swapped out some kind of a part. Like that.
Well, they didn't swap out a part. They had what, 3 board revisions in 6 months?
Oh, way less than 6 months.
Was it less than 6 months? I don't know the actual number, but it was not more than a year. I do know that.
It's reported on the LPC SKRs too. It honestly could just be something with the SKRs, because I know that they're. Do they have EEPROM on the turbos now? Like, do they have an EEPROM chip?
The LPC doesn't.
No, the
have
LPC
EEPROM.
has the EEPROM built in through Marlin. That's always worked.
I understand
it's
that,
the E3s.
But they have EEPROM separately on their new boards now, for whatever reason.
On the 2.0, they do, yeah.
No. I'm saying on all the like, even the 1.4s, or maybe it's their newest one.
I don't think mine had an EEPROM chip on it.
Maybe it's not. I think I was looking at the new turbo one.
It's not the no, because I've seen the 1.3, the 1.4, and the 1.4 turbos. Those do not have, because those have the LPCs, which Marlin has EEPROM support in.
I'm sorry, it was the SKR E3 turbo. Has a separate EEPROM on it. What the heck?
But I thought that's using an LPC.
It is.
Why would they put an EEPROM on there? Because
Nothing
it
makes
has
sense anymore.
has
that's the
support.
question.
This one here. Let me share my screen. I pulled it up. Yeah, because this is one someone. I think Ben Brady sent me a picture of this. Because they sent him out accidentally before they were supposed.
Now look on the right side of the LPC.
Oh yeah, there's an EEPROM chip right here.
Is that a 32-bit board?
Yeah, they've been making 32-bit boards for over a year now.
What are they? Are they running Marlin, or are they running like the rep?
No, they're running Marlin.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I love that duet thing, because the duets are just so, you don't have to do nothing to it. You just change your config file.
Here. So this guy, this is 2 months ago. I hope you can clarify something. I ordered SKR E3 Mini V2 and received something quite different.
Yeah, that was a failed surprise release for them.
Yeah.
They just accidentally ship out the wrong one?
Amazon did.
Oh.
So they had them in the warehouse in Amazon and hadn't released it yet, but they accidentally sent one of them out to a customer.
Yeah, I think here, because they pushed it in. I remember seeing a PR on Marlin here.
MKS S-Gen LV2.
I have the S-Gen LV2s here. Those are nice, especially for like a 35 board.
EEPROM 2 and does not even work.
What?
Why the heck would you even waste money on
I have. Hang on. Let's look. I have it. right here, brand new. Like it's still got the shit stapled to it.
All right,
Does it have EEPROM?
It definitely could be like a larger package because it's a really small package.
Hang on, let's take a look. Let's switch over to the scope cam. I gotta move stuff. Hang on.
What kind of a surface do you have there?
That's a bed, isn't it?
No, it's a helping hands. I keep it there when I'm not using it. This is a silicone mat. All right, so here's the S Gen L. There's the LPC 1769. There's this. What is this?
That definitely looks like could be EEPROM.
Could be.
That's the normal size package for EEPROM. Oh, I can't.
Hang on. I'm gonna make it bigger. Hang on. Moist Solo.
Just read out the number. I'll look it up.
Hang on.
What is that? AIML.
Hang on. I'm trying to get it to.
Holy crap!
I gotta focus it. Hang on.
What you need is OCR on this thing.
There it is.
ATML. Wait. ATML H017.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shenzhen Julong Century Electronics.
Of course.
Enclosure chip, it says it is.
It's an enclosure chip.
A not secure website. I like
Yeah,
that.
ATML H017.
Yeah, it's
Look at
memory.
Train say that's an EEPROM. This is labeled ISP. Oh wait, no, that's ISP booth. That's a jumper right there.
No, that's just a pin thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's EEPROM. What an
Why the
interesting
hell?
EEPROM choice.
Why the hell would they have an EEPROM on there? Oh, that's a MOSFET gate driver or something.
Doesn't
Right?
Doesn't
The
that
level
microcontroller have
Yeah,
flash
the
built
level
in?
shifter. That's where to. This is actually the same. This is the same. That's the same 5-volt regulator that Big Tree Tech uses, which does not have short circuit protection.
It's also 15 years old.
But like I said, in general, MKS's stuff I think is a lot better built than Big Tree Tech's. Like here's the MOSFETs they use, Griffin. These should look familiar to you.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, these are actually really good Chinese MOSFET.
No, I know their stuff is good because
they're one of the better lower cost
a
boards.
Gen
They
L
focus more on OEMing, which is why you don't see them too much, and they don't have like people in the communities and stuff pushing their products. That's why you don't. That's why they're not popular. They have a 12 megahertz clock chip on here for the LPC.
Yeah.
Does that microcontroller not have like flash that could be written to by the
It
program?
does. It does.
That's why
what
we're
Marlon
saying
is.
it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
It doesn't need the external EEPROM.
Yeah,
either.
it's a 1769.
Like we use the same processor on the Easy boards, and we don't emulate EEPROM on it because it's not necessary.
Yeah. Why the hell would they? So you look this up. That's an EEPROM chip.
Yeah, it's just some like no name EEPROM.
ATML H017.
You can look it up. It literally is like the most random unsecure websites that have it on there.
Well, you got to protect your memory.
Shenzhen Julong Century Electronics, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just a waste of money, in my opinion. But maybe they know something about it.
But wasting money is so much fun.
It's weird because
and then you bill the customer an extra $20.
I don't think they have. Let me look at the pins file for that board. I don't think they have that. I think that chip's just there, literally doing nothing.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
Hang on, I'm looking at the pins file. Pins LPC 1769 SGen LV2. Let's see. Let's look at the pins here. Let's take a look at the pins. Nope. Here it's right here. So it can do emulation. I2C EEPROM right here.
Weird.
Is it an AT24C32?
Maybe it's a clone of it.
It might be one that's just compatible with the same
Yeah.
fucking shit. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, it's definitely a knockoff of an Atmel EEPROM.
The reason for the EEPROM is if you want to make any changes in your printer, you can update the M&M without. Well, we're saying that there's already EEPROM built into the actual processor.
Yeah.
So having an external EEPROM is redundant.
Right. I
And
mean,
you actually don't need hardly any EEPROM for these.
Do they have the pins? So the question is, well, they might not have to define the pins, right? Because if it's just if it's just on the I2C seed bus for the LPC, then
there's a lot of I2C seed buses though.
Unless they have it hooked up to the one that it defaults to. Let's see. Let's look at their GitHub. I mean, I have their SGen L, the V1 in my Barney custom printer, and it's been solid. And I'm going to actually put this in my one that's got the SKR14 Turbo that's been giving me random issues. Like, the thing just locks up on me if it's idling for more than a day. Like, just fucking hard locks. Like, I don't know why. And I don't feel like buying another one. I'm not going to fucking fall into that trap. Like, MKS has been pretty good for budget boards. Like even the really cheap shit, like their Robin Nanos, like they're not the greatest, but for what you pay for them, they're not bad. Like
the Robins.
Yeah, like I want to say MKS is one of those companies that knows how and where to cut costs without really compromising the quality too much. Because I've got Gen L boards, which are their 8-bit ones, which are Ramps single board, and like it worked great. Like I still have some. I've got a fucking Gen L in my CR10 right there, like the 8-bit one, and that thing's like 2.5 years old at this point, if not more. Yeah. And it's been running that board since I overhauled it. Yeah, right here. Motherboard has a 4K EEPROM.
You know, I slightly resent that comment. Yeah. Griffin and I run companies where we know how to cut the correct corners, but then we pay 10% more for better quality.
That's true. I don't know.
I'm just looking at what these photos are. That's no interest. That's no interest. That's no interest.
A reset button in line. What the hell was that?
Wait a second. What was that thing that you just had about an ESP8266 on there?
Yeah, it's got a Wi-Fi header.
Huh.
I think they need to give up on the ESP stuff. It is so underpowered.
It's so clunky. It's not even funny.
Like Pi's are literally like $25 and can just run circles around anything.
Yeah, but the ESP8266 is like $3.
It is, but like the firmware is nowhere near as good. The only one that's like remotely good is the Duet. And that's
they're not even using the Wi-Fi module as a computer there. They're just using AT commands to talk to it.
Right, but that's all they're doing on any of the other ones too. It's literally just basically a serial connection. That's pretty much it. Now Duet does do it pretty interesting because they actually hook their
what's funny?
SD slot up to it, so you can upload.
Whatever this chip is, like they definitely chose the markings ATML to make it look like ATML.
Oh yeah,
like 100%. Okay, so here's the SGen LV2 schematic. You want to look at some schematics?
I'm gonna be triggered.
Oh,
actually, their schematics are pretty good. I've looked at that.
Oh, it has the file MOSFET. Let's see, what's the fucking EEPROM connected to?
ESP32s are okay. Yeah. I think the ESPs are really cool for like if you want to do IoT projects and stuff.
I have a ton for IoT projects here.
Like
my power monitor system is on ESP32.
Have you ever seen Unexpected Maker? He's another YouTube channel.
I have not.
He makes like custom Adafruit feather-sized boards with the ESP32s on there, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I never got into the ESP32s, but I wrote the ESP8266 basic interpreter thing, which has like a little self-hosting IDE that you run inside your browser. So you just like connect to it and edit your code right on the device.
Okay. Yeah.
They had
ESP32.
That thing's
or
got a lot more power.
ESP3D, sorry. That was what it was called.
Here's the BOM for this. What's the part number for that? That'd probably be a U. U something.
Either an IC or a U, probably.
This is probably an AT24. Is this it? SOIC8? That's the package it's in.
That's the package.
AT24CS16. That sounds correct.
I don't get me wrong. Like, I think there's definitely a place for ESPs. I just feel like.
Yeah, this is AT24CS16 clone. That's what it is.
Yeah, the biggest problem with the ESPs is that they were single core and they didn't have enough I/O pins to actually control a printer if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, Marlin actually has it built in for ESP32. Like, you can build for it as a.
You can do multiplexing and shit off the pins, but then it just gets really heavy.
Yeah, I wish they just came out with like a full size like 100 pin or 64 pin processor that also had antenna output, because that would be pretty sweet.
I mean, I've got like, let me pull up my thing here.
Well, those processors,
like I've got like this thing that monitors my humidor temperature and stuff. This is an ESP8266 with 3 DHT22s on it, and I've got like here for my power here. This is like my main panel. I'll take a sec to look because it's pulling all the data. Unless fucking Home Assistant broke something. There we go. So you can see like our wattage usage and how many amps we're pulling from each panel. Here's our kilowatt usage. So this is run on ESP32, but I've got like ESP Home runs all these. You see I've got one on my heat sensor in the garage, my pool heater, my office blinds, my RGB lights on my printer shelves, my humidor.
Can't argue with $3 and now your thing has Wi-Fi.
They're more like $10 for the modules, usually what they cost me. It's funny because see this cat shitters here? This is actually like a product. Like, so this is a litter robot, and these actually have ESP 8266s on them, and I was able to hook them into Home Assistant. So I can see I got to take the cat box out soon. We're at we got one cycle until full, and the cat shitter's full. So. Yeah, I've also got a bunch of Tasmota devices here too. So like if I go to my configuration integrations they communicate over MQTT. Oh, what is this? Is this discovering Tasmota directly now? It must be. Where's my MQTT. So here, 8 devices. These are all Tasmota devices, which are ESP8266s. You can see here, I'm using my easy plugs. I got this controlling a light. This is controlling the light in my printer lights. I've got 20 of them that are like full retail ones just to do a final inspection on them. And then we're running 500 of them out. So, but yeah, it's they've been working. I'm using them in my home automation because that's a nice thing. You use them with Octoprint, or if you're like me with home automation, it's like an open source Wi-Fi plug that doesn't have any Chinese shit on it. So, but you can see I got some Sonoff devices here. These are like random eFun ones I got off Amazon. These were a pain in the ass to flash. This one is not hooked up right now. This is for our Christmas lights. So I have an outdoor one that had an ESP, and I flashed it with Tasmota. I had to actually open it up and solder onto the I/O pins though. But yeah, I do all sorts of home automation. I don't know if this. Oh wait, this is beta. I don't know if I want to. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to break anything. But I've got, like you say, I've got a lot of stuff. I stopped using the TP links. I used to use the TP links, but you can see I've got 16 of them here.
Yeah, I still use the one you gave me.
Yeah, I've got. I mean, they work well, but they're not. They talk back to the server in China. I'm trying to get everything locally controlled. But here, see this here for my Z-Wave 70 devices. So. Yeah, I like home automation. Oh yeah, here since we have a sprinkler system, I've got my I got rain machine tied in here. So, I hope I remember the password. This is one of those devices I set up. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this
Obviously,
is the trouble. With all of this IoT stuff, everything has its own app. Everything has its own little passwords. Everybody has their own stupid clouds.
except with Home Assistant, so here's how my home automation works. Everything talks to Home Assistant. Home Assistant is a central point that everything connects into. So like these are my Ecobee thermostats. These Home Assistant emulates HomeKit. So this is local control. So even if my internet's down, so basically all this stuff in here, aside from my Nito robot vacuums, everything is local pulling. The Nito robot vacuums are the only thing that's not local pulling. Everything else is local. So my internet's down. All this keeps working because like my security system is all through this.
Do you run a separate network that's only for your IoT devices?
I don't know. Do I? Right there, IoT. Yep. But yeah, like I've got for my, I've got the Nest. So the Nest smoke detectors are not integrated with Home Assistant directly, but I have a Z-Wave detector that detects the sound from the smoke alarm, and then that will trigger automations. So these are ready for some shit here. These are all my flows for all my automations. So this is all of my alarm system here. This is smoke and CO2 alarms. This is the heat detector in the garage. I've got stuff that auto locks the front door. This is I got a float sensor in my sump pump. So if the sump pump stops working,
when the smoke alarm goes off, you automatically lock the front door?
No. This is this is an automation that if the front door is opened, it starts a 30-second timer. If the front door is still not shut, it doesn't do anything, but then it will. So as soon as the front door is closed, it starts a 30-second timer. If it's still closed, it locks the front door. So it auto locks after 30 seconds. But if I open it, it'll interrupt this, and then it will not go back through this same thing until it's closed. But so the heat detectors and the smoke detectors, I get push notifications on my phone, emails, and pictures from the cameras. It'll start sending us camera pictures every 30 seconds. It'll do that. So for away from the house, but it also turns all of the lights in the house on. So if we have a smoke alarm go off, all of our lights in the house turn on automatically. I've got notifications here. So like I got a doorbell notification that when doorbells ring, this is done with a 24-volt relay that's in parallel with the door chime. So when that actuates, it trips a sensor which goes to an ESP8266. So it closes the contacts. It plays a doorbell sound on all of the Google Homes in the house. And then on the ones that have screens, it streams the camera feed from my doorbell camera until it's been 5 minutes, or you close the front door and then it'll shut all the displays off automatically. And it also sends me a push notification and email with the snapshots from like within a second of doorbell being pressed, takes snapshots of both the cameras at the front porch, emails them and texts them to me. So, and then I've got here, this monitor, I use power monitoring outlets to monitor if my washer and dryers are running, and it'll send me a text to let me know when the washer or dryer is done based on the power it's consuming. I've got automated lighting here for the front lights and everything. For like in my office here, the garage. I got PIR sensors in the garage.
So this is like the very definition of spaghetti code.
No, these are flows. Do you see all the connections?
Yeah,
So-
but it's code, right?
Yeah, this is all JSON. So like this is all JSON is what this is doing. And then I've got here, so because my mini splits, again, you're talking about things with all their own fucking apps. My mini splits have a Wi-Fi connection and they have their own app, but I want to be able to, I can't integrate them directly with Home Assistant. So I actually have a Z-Wave infrared blaster that sends the commands and controls them over infrared. Now the mini split in my house and the ones in the shop, I have a mini split in my garage here. We have a central air in the house, but I have a mini split in the garage and 2 in the shop. My Ecobees are connected to furnaces, which are for heat only, not for cooling. But I'm able to actually set the temp and put into heat or cool mode from the Ecobees because the Home Assistant is monitoring the mode that it's in. And if it's in cool mode, it then will send the target temp from the Ecobee over the IR blaster through the Z-Wave network to the mini split. So I can control my mini split just like a normal AC. You know what I mean? Like as if a central one. This is like just synchronizations for the shop. I have Z-Wave smoke and CO2 detectors in the shop, one in each side of the building. And then it relays that information if those trigger back to the house, and also makes all the Google Home start screaming that there's a smoke alarm or CO2 alarm going off in the shop as well. And then this is all my automations just for the pool and the pool heater. So if we set our pool heater, we have 2 set points, 80 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. As soon as you set it, it sends you a push notification letting you know it's been set to that temperature. And then once the temperature is reached, that's the set point, we will get another text telling us that it's ready for swimming. So, and that's all controlled on ESP8266. There's a couple of Dallas temp sensors, relay modules that control the pool heater.
85 degrees? Kind of warm for a pool, ain't it?
That's a hot tub.
No, we have 80 and 85. So we usually set to 80. If we want a little warmer, we go to 85. And then this is for my humidor. This texts me if it gets too high, too low, if the temp's too high, if the temp's too low. It also will shut the lights off in the humidor after an hour because I was forgetting to turn them off because I have LED strip lights in there. And then I also have, if there's an issue with one of the sensors, it sends me a notification if there's an issue with one of the sensors because I've had some of those DHTs go offline. So, but yeah, this is like 2 years of work. This was originally hosted on a Raspberry Pi, and it quickly got to be too much to run on a Pi. So now it's running on a Threadripper server on a VM. So, but you can see,
of course, it's running on a Threadripper.
Can you see where my wife turned the gas fireplace on? Oh wait, no, hang on. That's probably nope. Oh, it's right here. So she probably turned it on right around here, and then turned it off, and then turned it back on, and then turned it off. This is actually a sensor from the Ecobee. There's one in there. But I have a Tasmota device that's a Sonoff controlling my gas fireplace. So I can actually turn the gas fireplace on. This is a Blue Iris camera feed. This is live right now. So like I say, hey, Google, turn off the living room lights. Of course, it didn't fucking hear me. Hey, Google, turn off the living room lights.
Tim gets a shitload of text messages every day, but not our from humans.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's very responsive. That when I sent that, Google went and hit Home Assistant's cloud, and then sent the command to my Home Assistant instance. You can do a free one, but they have here Home Assistant Cloud. You can it's $5 a month, and it's direct integration with like Alexa, Google Assistant, and they even have webhooks and shit. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, like if I turn these on, you'll probably see a light behind the should be right behind the couch. I guess it's not bright enough to see, but the humidor is actually right here in my living room. But I turned those lights on. I'm going to turn those off. Yeah, I have the shop all tied in. So none of these devices are actually connected to this Home Assistant instance. These are all virtual that are passed through over MQTT from the shop's Home Assistant install to this one, and they're synchronized. So, and this is, I have an Ecobee out there as well too. So, but I can like arm and disarm the shop. I have 2 Z-Wave locks out there. We've got like 5 of them in the house. So, and then here's all my garage stuff. So like here, if I turn this off, look at my lights go off. So, but yeah, all my garage, this one would open, like if I press and hold this would open the door that's behind me, but that's actually physically disabled for obvious reasons. So someone doesn't open the fucking garage door behind me. But yeah, I just got like different stuff. Like you see like the bedrooms and shit, like the temperatures. So, and then all the pool stuff. This temp sensor I got to replace. This is one that's strapped to the pool pump. So,
all this Internet of Things stuff is great until it starts sending your data outside your house. Just because, like, I don't know. Did you guys see the article that happened where a guy had a smart mattress
Hang on. I'll let you finish that thought in a sec. But after this, I am going to have to wrap this up because we've been talking. I said at 12, I was going to go for 20, 30 minutes, and now we're off on a tangent.
So they had this smart mattress, right? And I don't know, it was either the wife or the husband or whatever it was. They're suing the company because for some reason it was telling them about how their sleeping patterns had changed when one of them was on vacation. And it was showing an awful lot of activity.
Because they had someone was cheating.
And yeah, somebody's suing the company. I don't know which one because it just, it outed them.
That's one way to find out.
And what was the other one? There was a guy who was using one of those Fitbits, right? And he was supposedly asleep when the fire started in his house, but it showed that he was running around pouring gasoline everywhere or something.
That's pretty good.
You gotta watch out.
I have thought about, so Home Assistant has, I think it's called like Hey Ada or something, and it's a locally controlled voice assistant. And so here's my thing. I get the privacy concerns about like having these Google devices in the house and stuff, but I literally have my cell phone that's running fucking Android on it on my person 24/7.
Well, why would you leave home without your government-issued listening device?
Well, that's what I'm saying. People are like, man, the Google Homes are always listening. Well, one, they're actually not listening. I actually did traffic analysis on it. They don't start actually feeding data out to the cloud until, so there's a chip on that board that its specific purpose is to identify voice patterns. So what happens is that's why there's only certain keywords you can use, and it has to match that pattern. And then it starts feeding the command to the cloud for analysis to then perform the action you want. So like if you do a packet capture, you can actually watch it before you say it. Like right now as I'm talking, it's on and it's technically listening. It's not actually sending anything to Google until it hears that voice pattern match of Hey G. You know what I mean?
The Google voice recognition really is not that bad locally because you can run it locally on your cell phone in airplane mode, right? You can run it and it still works because they've done all that localization to it. They've put it so that you can run it.
I think, is it Almond? Is the one? Oh, Almond is the open privacy preserving virtual assistant. This I think is you can just type to it. But I'm not gonna lie, I love having the voice commands, but I don't. So I originally had bought Samsung Smart Things Hub. And I did that because I bought the first like home automation thing I did aside from like outlets and switches was it's called Connected with a K, and it's an ESP with a specialized board that allows you to pull all the electronics out of your wired home alarm system, which this house had one, and then locally take it over. And one of the things was it integrated right with Smart Things, so I bought that. Problem was Smart Things doesn't work if your internet's down. So if someone cut my Comcast line and then tried breaking in the house or my Comcast was down, the alarm system would not function. Whereas this, like, unless they cut the power and literally wait an hour for my battery backups to run down, my system's going to work whether I have internet or not. So everything here, all my switches, all my access points, all my server, all the core electronics infrastructure here, I have a minimum of 45 minutes of runtime on everything without shutting anything down.
Do you have some method of like proxying through an Android device? Like you could have it so that would turn on.
Well, the whole thing is I literally have a Google Assistant device in every room in the house. I have a Mini in the garage. I've got the Lenovo Smart Display here in my office. I've got a JBL hub in the kitchen. I've got a Mini in the living room. I got a Mini in the guest room, the guest bathroom, and our second bedroom. I've got a Mini in the master. And I also have, which is really nice for when you're sitting in the tub, in the master bathroom, I've got their screen one. It's just I think it's called the Home Hub. It doesn't have a camera. Like my Lenovo has a camera that I keep off.
I was talking about it as a backup for your internet to use the cell phone network.
I have an LTE modem here.
Oh, so it fails over automatically.
Yes, I am running pfSense for my router. So I have a failover on a Verizon LTE connection. I get about 20 to 30 megabits per second on it. It's not bad. But it's you ever see those cradle point devices? They're like they're enterprise grade shit. I think it was about $500. It wasn't cheap, but we used them when we did deployments in rural areas when I did IT infrastructure. But you literally just pop a SIM card in there, and Straight Talk is what I use, but with a Verizon SIM card. So it's on Verizon's network, but it's like for $50 a month, I have unlimited data on it.
Oh, that's like, that's a prepaid kind of a deal.
Yeah, so I have it all auto. We've been using Straight Talk for like 3 years now. I've been very happy with it. So like my phone, this S10, like this is just an unlocked phone I bought from Amazon, and I ordered the red card from Straight Talk, and basically they have the red, the pink, the blue, and the yellow. So Sprint, AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, they have contracts with all these carriers. So depending on what SIM card you order, depends on what network your phone goes on. So I know Verizon's network is the most robust one that I've found. So I ordered the red SIM card. And so literally my IP address on my phone is on Verizon Wireless.
Yeah. Those prepaid things are so great now. Like
we've been using it for, I've never had to contact them. And like the LTE, we don't always keep it on. Like if we've been having a spurt of issues with Comcast, we'll light it up, and like I can activate it from my phone in less than 2 minutes, and it's online.
Do you have the gigabit from Comcast?
Yeah, it's only gig down. It's fucking bullshit. It's a gig down, but 40 up. Like, come on.
That's not bad.
I want gig up. I want gig up and down.
Symmetrical connection.
I want a symmetrical connection. You know what fucking grinds my gears? A mile away. If we were a mile away, I could get fucking 2 gig fiber from Comcast.
You could still
2
get
gig 2 gig symmetrical fiber from Comcast for like $300 a month.
Is run a long fiber cable.
Just string it up on the poles.
Well, no, you dig a 6 to 10 inch deep trench real quick, and all you have to do is just use the edge of the shovel just to cut it in there, shove it down, push the dirt back together. That's what Google was doing when they were doing the Google Fi or whatever. They were literally doing shallow trench fiber.
Yeah. But yeah, we got everything. I mean, we've got everything pretty well managed here. And we've had to use LTE. Like we've had times where Comcast goes down during the day and we're trying to ship orders, and we're like, well, light the LTE up and fail it over. And then I also have bandwidth control through pfSense only when we're on the LTE. Like we basically just throttle any streaming services, YouTube, like music, that kind of stuff, so that way we can actually get work done.
Do you block ads on your pfSense instance also?
I don't anymore because I've had it breaks too many things. Like Amazon's app doesn't work. YouTube acted really weird. Like it's a good idea and premise, but it breaks more stuff than it helps. So I just run like uBlock Origin on my computer and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Tim, I'm hopping off here.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now because it's 12:56. I appreciate everybody stopped by. Hopefully this was fun. It's a more casual stream. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I don't want people thinking I died or something. So everything's all good.
I heard that Tim died.
Yeah.
Slams the box down. I know you all thought I died.
Well, the funny thing was I hadn't uploaded shit in a while before I posted that, because there are people left comments like, what happened to Tim? Well, I was moving my office into the second bedroom, so like everything was just in upheaval for a couple weeks. So, but all right, everybody, I'm gonna sign off, and thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I will talk to you all later. So
See ya.
Bye.